Symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Spoiled supermarket meat, sawdust like fillers, artificial preservatives?
Ho, ho, hold on there. I'm veterinarian Dr. Marty Goldstein. You don't want your dog eating any of that. These potentially harmful ingredients are found in many of today's popular dog foods, but not in Nature's Blend. A freeze-dried raw dog food with real cuts of meat, omega-3 rich seeds, and superfood veggies and fruit.
Nature's Blend is designed to help support your dog's playfulness, healthy skin, soft coat, easy digestion, and youthful mobility.
Your dog will go bonkers over Nature's Blend savory flavor and texture.
For a limited time, save up to 54% off Nature's Blend and receive a free festive holiday dog sweater with select orders. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511.
I guarantee it with a 100% 90-day return of your purchase price.
Offer available with select orders while supplies last. Text fees may apply. You may receive up to one additional text. Text stop to opt out. Paid for by Dr. Marty's Pets.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today. It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
A little light dusting of the white stuff this morning. And, we'll have a little more of this tomorrow. And then things will warm up for the weekend. So
It better.
It better. Absolutely right. Syracuse, we'll talk to Davey about that with a big game last night. I don't know. It's Cornell. How big is the game? But a loss to Cornell would have been
huge, yeah.
Would have been pretty ugly.
That's what they're dealing with college football and this playoff thing. It's not so much, well, I guess in some cases it is who you win against, but it's not so much who you win against, but who you lose against.
As a Bills fan, that is, yeah, I understand
well, listen,
that.
After Sunday night against my Packers, the Chiefs kind of showed a lot of weaknesses, so we can only hope, being a Bills supporter myself,
the Bills take advantage of that.
Yeah, the Bills watch a lot of film and are ready to come off the bye week swinging.
Andrew, I'm going to have you kind of move your head. Oh, there's Andrew. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, there they are. Number one from the United County Sheriff's Office. The kids' tractor. It's an electric tractor. You'll see it at the bottom right there. It's a blue New Holland from Clinton Tractor. And the current bid on that, and we're going to sell these this week.
Oh,
the current bid is $425. Do we leave it there? Dana Olney has the bid right now. Does she take it for $425? And then up on top of that, if you're looking on YouTube, you will see with lovely Vanna there in the picture, you will see the Utica Mack truck, which is a convertible Mack truck. The doors open on it. It's got the American Eagle and flag right there on the side. Yeah, I wasn't able to get the door open, but on the inside you can. And it, I don't know, it handles a kid that's about 65, 70 pounds. And, yeah, Andrew, you're like completely blocking the shot now.
Oh, I was
That's right. That's
so
right.
fascinated
There he
by
goes.
the thing.
That currently Utica Mack truck. The bid right now is with Joe Habaika at $500, and you can make your way back in. Andrew, thank you. This thing will go in. I don't know. Probably drive in snowy conditions, right?
Yeah, we're going
Right,
to need
Davey?
it. Studded tires on it.
It's a beaut. There's wait a minute. There's Davey in the shot, practically, or at least part of Davey on YouTube. If you're watching, on YouTube, you're saying, "Wow, these guys don't know what they're doing." Yep, that's absolutely correct. Davey, we'll talk to you about Syracuse coming up in a second. That was a little closer than Comfort, I think, the game yesterday, but Cornell was that type of team.
I just think that, I think what it comes down to is defensively, and this is something that goes back to the era of Boeheim. They need to just really improve that defense.
If you watched the game last night on the ACC network, Davey, let me tell you, Jim Boeheim is not meant to be a color commentator.
No, he is.
Oh,
He's
it's
boring.
so bad.
Yeah, I watched him on Saturday. He did Florida State and North Carolina. West Durham and Corey Alexander, they carried the broadcast. He's no analyst.
Well, he popped in yesterday because they were playing. Syracuse was playing, and it just is a little rough to.
Well, it's like
to tolerate.
Doesn't he have anything better to do? Like, go enjoy your retirement, Jim. Like, you know what I mean? Go down to Florida or go on vacation or.
He's actually gonna be the color analyst on one of the Syracuse games on the CW network. That it was announced the other day.
Oh boy.
And
Well,
I think the games in Syracuse that they're going to be covering.
Okay. Well, all I can tell you is, not really meant for being on TV,
Right.
in that way. But it's got to be difficult for Boeheim to, there's his old team, and there he is on the sidelines. He's not a part of coaching it, and it didn't end all that well.
Well, he's going to be doing dual roles, Bill. He's going to be like a studio analyst too on ESPN during the season,
Which is kind of what he was last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, listening to the Real Men Get Tested commercial just a few minutes ago, I got to say it's the weirdest thing that I've learned about my wife's cat. Number one.
And sorry to interrupt you. You got a big fan in that commercial. My mom loves it.
She does.
Yes.
Oh,
That's awesome. Well, it doesn't just target men. It's women as well. But women are just smarter than men. That's my conclusion out of the whole thing. Women are just a little bit smarter. So I yesterday in watching my wife and her cat. So her cat gets up on the coffee table and I'm like, "Get down." And my wife says, "What do you think? That cat's a dog?" It's not going to listen to you.
Yeah.
So when you get up, though, the cat knows it's not supposed to be up there, and the cat jumps down. But it's very interesting because we have alarms set up. Number one, a Ring alarm, which sounds like in the commercial. It's in the commercial.
Yeah.
It's that sound. Okay? So the minute the cat hears that sound, on one hand, I'm like, cats are just stupid, but I think cats may be superior.
No, cats are
So
smart.
the minute the cat hears that sound, the cat goes running down into the basement and then sticks its head out of the pet door. We have a pet door in there.
Yeah.
So it's a little hole the cat can... So the
hole
cat
with
will
a
go
flap.
right down in the basement, stick its head out to see who's there, which means someone foreign is entering the house. Whereas when we come home, the alarm at the front door signifies another sound. And that's a completely different sound, and it's so weird. The cat will go running to the door and be waiting at the door when she hears that sound.
Yeah.
So they can't be that dumb.
No,
I mean, that cat knows when that sound happens, we're coming home. One of the family members is coming home. But if the other sound happens, the ringtone, the cat knows it's somebody foreign and it goes running.
Yeah, no, back to the point about cats being smart. even though they can be stupid sometimes, like a lot of people. My cat, one of them, will know exactly when it's time to be fed, and if I'm not up out of bed and ready to feed the cat, it's on top of me. It's like bothering me. It's making noises on Hannah's nightstand. My girlfriend, they're making like patting around like hair ties and other stuff like that.
So the animal
to
knows.
purposely annoy me.
Yeah,
so that I'll get up and feed him, so that I'll eventually be left alone.
They are not stupid.
And they're also planning the death of their human owners.
Even though I feel like maybe they are. Coming up, Tanya Powers will talk about Eric Trump no longer testifying at his father's trial. There's a fundraiser coming up at the Jewish Community Center. Noah, I always mess up his last name.
We'll get clarification, but I think it's Dinerstein.
And Noah will be, who is also a great performer, plays guitar and sings. Will be on this morning talking about the fundraiser and support for Israel and what has been going on over there and really on a lot of college campuses and throughout cities throughout America. Anti-Semitism is up. Pretty scary. Hobeika's free money question of the day is up this morning. Longtime assistant DA and county law clerk for Judge Dwyer, Mike Nolan, has announced he's running for county judge.
Okay.
He made that announcement yesterday. You know that Judge Dwyer will be retiring at the end of next year, and we'll speak with Mike Nolan later on this morning. Andrew Reed with the three legal stories, and we'll go through those. And Ryan Noble's on from NBC. Ryan, of course, all over the place, covering, especially in the last week, one of the big stories he's covered is the George Santos story.
Yeah, that's a doozy.
As crazy as that story is, he's been all over it. So we'll get to that just a little bit as well. Yesterday, President Biden said a little something that shocked everybody, and I'm like, I don't know that anybody should be shocked by the statement. He said that if Trump wasn't running, he's not sure that he would be running. Well, I think the only reason he's running is because they think that he can beat Trump. And I'm not sure that that's going to be able to happen this time around. We will see. It all remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's as we were talking about it yesterday. I mean, it's like you decide personally what you think is going to be the lesser of two evils. And I just think that with Biden having the difficulty even speaking in some cases, it's going to be a harder sell to some of those middle-of-the-road people.
Well, that Trump hatred, however, is very strong. Yeah. So there are those that would say cardboard box would do. And it might be exactly what they have right now. We'll discuss that a little bit. Wayne says, could you please wish Angeline, actually it is,
Angeline.
Right? A happy birthday today. She's celebrating her birthday. We don't know what age. You would never get on that road.
She's very young.
But Angeline celebrating a birthday today from Wayne. Happy birthday, Angeline.
And Wayne wanted us to reiterate, I'm actually going to be working this story on this. We were talking about the plight of youth offenders and youth crime in the area. But he wanted me to just mention yet again that the boxing clinic that's held every week is free to the youth of the city. It's at Varick Street at the old Reynolds Hardware Building. Dominic Nicotera volunteers his time and has coaches, so I'll have more details on that to go up on our website at some point this week.
Okay, in Madison County, two men found guilty in charges related to ongoing sexual abuse of two children. Some of these stories just make you so sick. And angry. These are two brothers. Brothers Theodore F. Presley III and Jonathan M. Presley of Oneida, convicted of 3 felonies related to the abuse that took place between 2012 and 16 in Oneida. After a 6-day trial, the two were found guilty. Based on their convictions, both men must register as sex offenders if released from state prison. The crime of predatory sexual assault against a child is a Class A2 violent felony and carries a mandatory state prison sentence. This story in the the Sentinel. And I guess the odd thing about this story, which makes it stand out, is they are two brothers, right?
Yeah, that's odd.
So
you almost wonder what the history is. You don't want to ever assume anything, of course, but they do say that with offenders of this kind, that usually there's a history. You know, we learned about
like
that.
something, a cause
something
and
may have
effect.
happened to them when they were young.
Well, we don't know that, and we don't know the reason, but they are brothers, and both were convicted. Madison County Assistant DA Jane Raven prosecuted the case and commended the jury on their thoughtful deliberations. It's a wonderful day when I can call children and tell them that their voices were finally heard and that the jury believed them, she said. The system requires so much of child victims, particularly in sexual abuse cases, but the system does work. This jury listened intently for 6 days, and in the end, justice was done. Wow.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that's, again, you just wonder, how does that happen? Davey, last night, Syracuse and Cornell going at it. And this was you kind of felt this early on. This was a tough game for Syracuse.
Yeah, because they played this different style of man-to-man and zone for Syracuse.
So,
and
they did a great job of scoring against Cuse and stayed in that game almost throughout the entire game.
Yep.
But the fact that Syracuse came away and it was a rather close game, I don't think that says anything bad about Syracuse.
No.
Because that certainly was a tough game. However, Saturday morning, Syracuse will play in what will be a real test, a real tough game for the Orange.
Yeah, 11:30, and the game's on Fox. They're playing in Washington against Georgetown.
In Washington.
They were throwing up the threes last night, Bill.
They were last night, but it's against it's against the Cornell defense.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. What else do we have here this morning?
Well, I do have some comments at some point, and Lance and Lee, he always knows how to get under one's skin.
All right, we'll get to it. This I don't know if you saw the video yesterday of the exploding house. We were talking about this and what would cause this thing to go up. So prior to the house exploding, the guy was setting off flares, right?
There was some sort of standoff.
And was erratic. The neighbors say he's been quite erratic, period. This is a man who apparently lined his windows with aluminum foil. That would be a sign.
Yes.
Right? Of what are you doing with the aluminum foil?
Yeah.
What a waste of good aluminum foil.
I know it, especially with the price of it nowadays.
Even his neighbor had said that he wasn't surprised based on the erratic things. This man would oftentimes report things to the FBI that were way out there. So neighbors said they weren't necessarily surprised. However, you have to be surprised when the whole house goes up in a massive explosion. It damaged 6 or 7 houses nearby, but that was the only, it's believed the only death was the guy inside. Anyway, it has gone viral out of Arlington, Virginia, a house exploding while cops were attempting to serve a search warrant. Here's an eyewitness account along with real audio of the standoff and ultimately the explosion. As we said, the suspect inside, is believed to have died in the explosion. Here it is.
Come out, we don't want to hurt you.
Stay away from the front door and the Arlington Police Department.
And then they ended up driving the SWAT truck through the front door with like a pile driving arm. At that point, he started firing a weapon back. I believe it was like an AR. It was a high caliber weapon.
Jeez.
At that point, they reversed the truck back. They kept trying to yell to him. He sounded like he was trying to say something back, but they were like, look, we can't hear you. Please come out. Please come out. We won't get hurt. At that point, they were driving forward to the window, and that's when the whole place went up.
Oh, my gosh.
Isn't it funny how the car alarms always go off when there's an explosion
like that?
Well,
that's packs such a punch.
Well,
like that.
you could see that. I mean, and it's almost as if firing at them moved them back to the point where he could then blow the house up.
Yeah, that's
and I don't know.
Really tragic.
I don't think we know as of yet how the house exploded the way it did. I don't know if it was. What would do that is natural gas. But it almost seems like this guy had it timed to the point where it might have been some sort of a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he's got all the other preparation
Well,
devices.
he's got his flares, and it seems like he has some
Yeah.
pretty heavy weaponry, or had pretty heavy weaponry yesterday. A woman in Texas was able to save a dog. She's being heralded as a hero today. Saved a dog who had its head stuck in a large jug, and it's been that way since October.
What?
Here is Terry Goodnight talking about the rescue.
We took wire cutters and cut all the way around it and pulled it off of his head. We thought he couldn't breathe. We didn't know there was an opening at the other end. It's been an everyday effort trying to get him. I literally cried for 10 minutes after I caught him. I just broke down and just started crying. So they will be vetted and adopted out and go to loving homes and not have to be street dogs anymore.
Well, so apparently it was a street dog, and they weren't able to catch it. They finally caught it and were able to take cut the jug off. We recently saw a story like this with a bear, right? There was a bear who had a plastic jug stuck on its head. And
the dogs are very adamant about if they have anything that's remotely edible or human food, they'll do anything. They'll go to great lengths to try to get it, and that seems to be the case here. Dog went in to lick something, and
I guess you're right. Looking for something to lick out of the jug. Today is National Microwave Day.
We use the microwave.
Some people
still.
don't use a microwave oven. We do.
We do for warming up of leftovers, but we also have like a toaster oven that's on steroids. It does a lot of different things.
I'd say the air fryers are pretty
and we've
amazing
done that.
at what an air fryer can accomplish. Right? It's the stuff tastes fried, but it's not.
My girlfriend made bacon wrapped jalapeno treats, homemade, with the air fryer last night.
Nice.
She's been on a whole kick.
All right, love that.
Love it.
And I would say that with a microwave oven, I do remember. I don't know if you recall this, but the first time you ever used a microwave, if you're your age, you wouldn't remember it. But if you're my age, and even Davey, you might remember when we didn't have a microwave oven.
Right.
And that first one came out, it was kind of like the color TV thing. And I do remember we were at my uncle's house, and he pulled out the ho-hos, and he said, "Watch what happens when I put a ho-ho in." Now, it was without the foil. So it just kind of melted that ho-ho, and it was creamy, and it might be the greatest little treat I can ever remember as a kid.
Wow, I'll have to try that.
And it was quite good.
But you can't put it in for too long, obviously.
Do not put it in for too long. Be careful of the hot on the inside. That can really burn you. And then the other part is ho-hos always were, I haven't had a ho-ho in years, but always were wrapped in foil. You wouldn't want to put that foil in the microwave oven
even if there's the slightest bit of metal. Imagine all the people that learned that lesson.
You get some sparking.
Yeah.
Eric Trump will no longer testify at his father's trial. Tanya J. Powers standing by right now with the latest on that. Tanya, good morning.
I'm sorry, can we just talk about the ho-ho in the microwave thing a little bit more? Because I did not know this was a thing.
Well, I don't know that it ever was. This was at the.
My goodness!
This was in the early '70s, mid '70s, when microwave ovens first came out, and we had an uncle who had a microwave oven, and I just recall that very first thing he put the ho-ho in, ran it for about 15 seconds, and
culinary genius.
Check this out. And Tanya, it was so good.
I mean this in the kindest way. Was your uncle one of those hold my beer kind of guys? Because I get the feeling that he was a little bit more risk taker than most folks were.
My uncle was the type that after we enjoyed the microwave oven, he'd say, "Here, hold this," while he sold the microwave to someone else right out from underneath of everybody. And it'd be gone. It's like, wow.
What happened to that microwave?
We had 3 days of a microwave oven. Wait a minute, where's the color TV? That's gone too.
I especially loved the Gen X, the pure Gen X moment of that story when you mentioned that these things used to be wrapped in foil, because they did.
Yeah. And you wouldn't want to put that in. You wouldn't want to put that in the microwave.
Well, we don't want to go into the whole Swiss cake roll over ho-ho debate, because that we could take 3 hours on alone.
Ooh, yeah, no.
What's better?
That's. You're right. That is. I never thought about that. That is definitely a debate.
Can I tell you another just moment? Back when we had our old show, and I was much younger, Tanya, and it was more of a, maybe let's call it a Jackass meets Stern type program.
my.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it got to the point where I'm punishing my kids for doing things that I'm doing in the morning every day. So we had to be like, enough is enough. But anyway, we put everything we could find in a microwave oven that would explode or burn or that you weren't supposed to put, and we just ran it. It ran the entirety of the program and never exploded. I mean, there was fire inside, and then it would kind of go out, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to it. I thought it would maybe explode, and it never did. The microwave oven, but it can cause fire. You got to be very careful with that. So.
And your show was heavily insured, I take it.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what they told everyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, I believe Eric Trump is heavily insured as well. What do we know on this case here, Tanya? Good morning.
Good morning. Well, we do know that he was supposed to testify today. He was going to be called by the defense. We learned yesterday that the defense is no longer calling him as a witness. As far as the scheduling goes, that I can kind of give you some information on that. The court is not going to be in session today.
Okay.
Tomorrow, they're expected to have some testimony from a professor of accounting at the NYU Stern School. Also, him again on Friday. So that's kind of Thursday and Friday. Next Monday is supposed to be the former president testifying. And again, remember, the defense is the one that's they're presenting now. The defense has asked the judge to postpone his testimony while they continue to appeal that gag order that's kind of been back and forth. That was put back into place. In case you have not been keeping up with the minutia and details of this case, and believe me, it's easy to get in the weeds real quick on it. There was a gag order that was put in place, and then it was lifted, and then another, court said, no, we're going to reinstate that. The defense does not want their client, Trump, to testify until that gag order stuff is resolved. Of course, the Attorney General's office says, no. So anyway, it's the judge apparently declined to postpone his testimony. I think his quote was absolutely not, no way, no how.
Yeah.
But and so that's supposed to be on Monday of next week, and then next Tuesday, I believe, starts the Attorney General's rebuttal witnesses. So you've got, the AG's case has already been presented. They're doing the defense now, and then once the defense wraps up, then on hopefully next Tuesday, if the timing works out the way it looks now, that will be the rebuttal witnesses called by the Attorney General's office. After that, we expect for, the judge, they'll break until, I think it's January the 11th. I don't have that date in front of me, but it's sometime the first part of January. They'll break until then, and then they will come back to do closing arguments, and then the judge will get the case. Remember, this is a bench trial, so there is no jury. The judge makes the call on this. And then after that, potentially some weeks after that is when we'll find out. So it could be February or March before we learn, the verdict in the case.
Isn't it amazing how all of this has become so normal for us? I mean, if you'd have plucked one of these stories, just one of these stories, out of the news today and bopped it in 20, 30 years ago, we would be like, stop the presses. But today, it's like, oh, sure. The man who's running for president right now is under indictment in 3 different cases, or 4 different cases, and we pay no attention. It's almost like it's the norm today. It's really quite surreal.
Yeah, I mean, I think a good bit of that is due to let's just be honest about it. When under the Trump presidency, chaos became normalized.
It did, yeah,
to a large degree. And I'm not saying that as a.
You're not picking sides when you say that.
I'm not picking sides. I'm down the middle. I mean, it would be hard for anybody to say no, this was not. Right. Everything's fine, But it's sort of like, okay, no, there was just a constant stream of, things coming out of the White House, just lots of announcements and lots of things that had never been done before. So I think that may be why, to a degree, that we're just sort of like, okay, it's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
It's a Wednesday.
I mean, when you think about it, it really is quite. Think about. There was a story in the New York Times, an editorial in the New York Times, where people in the White House wrote an anonymous letter to the editor to the New York Times saying, "Don't worry, he's not really running the country." I mean, which is so un-American on its own. At the same time, years ago, Gerald Ford was walking up the steps of Air Force One, and he kind of tripped just a little bit and caught himself. Today, and think about what a big deal that was. You take that today with President Biden, who struggles to just get through a press conference. We are in a very weird place in our
now they just took away the stairs for
in
President
our world
Biden now.
today. Yeah, it's just.
I mean, the fact that that the age thing is. I mean, obviously that is a thing with voters. We've seen that in poll after poll after poll. It is also important to remember they're only 3 years apart.
Yeah, that's also very interesting.
And that is one of the things that you kind of have to point out whenever you're talking about one of them's age. You sort of, I mean, keep in the back of your mind. They're literally, they would have been in the same high school together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Think about that.
They would not have been any further apart than that in age, which I find really interesting. The way age has played a role in this election cycle, and of course we haven't heard the last of it. This should be very interesting to watch.
Very interesting. Tanya Powers, as always, love the conversation. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks for having me on.
Okay, thank you, Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. It is all very interesting, and part of the difference is there may be 4 years in between them, but if you were to look at the two, you would say Trump is much younger, right?
Yeah, you would think.
You would think. In fact, significantly. But
that's why everyone says it's not the age, right? It's not the age, it's the capacity.
Now, Rob says, and Rob is always good for a one-sided opinion, Rob, thank you. It's all going to immediate appeal, and his numbers go up again. Well, I that's fine. That's fine. However, the numbers his numbers go up among people who already support him. You still have the problem of winning, and while you have Democrats out there warning people, we're not sure Biden can win, you have Republicans out there warning the same thing right now, saying we don't think Trump can beat even Biden. So to make that prediction today, I could not make that prediction. I'm not sure you could have made up any of the last 10 years. So to say that we would make up this next year coming up in 2024, I wouldn't bet on anything. I just wouldn't bet.
That's why I don't go to the movies anymore. I mean, we've been living one.
Why go to a movie? Why go to a movie when it's already going on right in your own backyard? We have explosions here. We have dogs with jugs on their head. And then what's going on in Washington? It's just the craziness of the world. Hold on. A couple of comments. Dana this morning, I loved frozen ho-hos as a kid.
Okay.
Well, Dana, why not love them today as an adult?
Yeah, or microwaved ones. I'm going to try that.
You should try it. Mike this morning, a bunch of comments. Imagine if the ring cam alarm went off prior to the police armored vehicle crashing through the door and the explosion occurred. Yeah, just imagine that.
Knowing that guy, he probably had something a little more advanced than a ring camera.
For National Microwave Day, people should clean their microwave. Man, I've always said you can tell a lot about a person if you open their microwave. Now, to be fair, you just put in an old big cut of lasagna.
Yeah.
Not old, but a cut of lasagna that's a leftover. And if you don't have a cover on that, you got splatter all over the place.
Well, there's a difference between the bright red sauce that's on the microwave the brown kind of caked on,
crusty disgustingness.
Yeah, exactly.
Want to know something about someone? Look in their microwave. Forget the medicine cabinet. It's the one place Andrew, working for River Hills Properties, is like, don't do it.
Don't you dare open that microwave.
Don't open that microwave oven. At the very least, before you ever show your home, make sure you clean the microwave. That is the last. It does seem to be the last place people forget. How's our microwave down the hallway? A break room of a radio station microwave is normally disgusting. This one normally is not all that bad.
Well, we have a boss that is not
meticulous.
But she's not. Yeah. It's not above her to do so. Even though it probably frustrates her, she'll make sure everything's looking clean.
A Donald Trump presidency, Mike. Donald Trump, and I'll give you your comments, and then we'll break. A Donald Trump presidency is like that of the Tasmanian Devil cartoon. Boy, it really is. You just can't keep up. And Bernie Sanders is a young old man. Joe Biden is an old man.
Yes.
And that is the truth. It is, it's weird how all of it happens, right? You could take a look at Bernie Sanders and be like, that guy could go another 20 years.
Wow.
You do not feel that way about Joe Biden. Comments from Andrew here. Good morning.
So some of these date back a bit. Actually, this one was from... Oh, no, this one was from yesterday. So there was a couple that I missed yesterday, especially when we were on with Dr. Hall, and I apologize that Joe B. of Utica asking the doc about the numbers at St. Luke's Nursing Home. I did not get to that. FSU, this is from Ed and Ilian yesterday. FSU got screwed. We always said if you go undefeated, you deserve a chance to play for the national championship. Deb and Remsen, have you done a story about Matthew Grant, the RIT student that's missing since November 20th?
So we dug into that a little bit yesterday, and there's not a
from
lot of
Michigan.
There's
originally.
not a lot of talk about this out in Rochester.
No, so he's from Michigan originally, is my understanding. He's going to school at RIT. He's a captain of the wrestling team. He was last seen, or his throughway easy pass indicator was last clocked at somewhere in Syracuse. So the search has gone from Rochester to the Syracuse region, or now the Adirondacks. So we don't have a lot of details personally here, and it's not believed that he's made it to the Utica area. But our contact that we go to a lot out in Rochester said that there's not much information he has on it either. So,
what else do you have? By the way, Jones 1 this morning says, good morning from L.A.
Well, good morning.
I would say to you, good wee morning.
Yeah, wee.
Top of the early morning to you out there in L.A.
This is John from Bridgewater. I won't give his name he uses on the app, but John from Bridgewater says, hey, Bill, didn't you have a Yugo coupe back in the day?
That was a Yugo Coupe de Ville, John, with a big red racing stripe right down. It was a red vehicle with a racing stripe down the side. That thing, I'm going to tell you something. There's nothing that got more looks driving down the thruway of doing 85, passing somebody in a Cadillac or something in my little red Yugo. It was early on, 1980, maybe 5. Brand new vehicle, $39.95. And it lasted for a couple of years.
That's pretty awesome. You get what you pay for, I guess.
Yeah, even the radio and the clock, all was military time. You couldn't get anything to. It was not made for America. I'll tell you that.
And finally, Lance and Lee. And again, I apologize, Lance. I didn't see what the original question was because I don't know if you edited it or if I'm just not seeing it. Saying, I'll start submitting my questions a week in advance. Apparently, Andy can't handle the app questions like Jeff did.
Well, you better get on it there, Andrew. I mean, come on. Wake the hell up over there.
I will. And then this one just in from Big Honey and Hecla. I wonder if the deep state has been inflating Trump's poll numbers to make the left nervous and to make the right overly comfortable.
Well, I will tell you, I do think there is a movement to coerce Democrats to say in polling that they do not support Biden, because I think Democrats are nervous about Biden and they want him out. And I'm not sure how much polling you can trust these days. So it is all going to be a very interesting 2024. I just hope you're buckled up and ready to go. Hi, good morning. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Yeah, Keeler, I was listening to you about your Yugo.
Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning.
Okay.
This Sean?
You're the old.
It is.
How you doing, Sean?
Doing good. You're the only guy I know whose car is taller than you are.
I'm going to tell you and I think I've told this story before because it's one that you have to tell. I was at, if you remember, Lily Langtree's. We were down on Varick Street, and we went in, and, you know, it was early college years for me, and we went inside. I came out, and someone had lifted the Yugo onto the sidewalk and parked in my place. Swear to God, this thing you can't make this crap up. I'm just telling
There
you.
was a guy in Boonville that had a car called the Crosley. It was small like that.
Yeah. I mean, you literally could lift those up. I mean, if you're strong enough.
They lifted up his Crosley and put it between the pillars on the Hobart House.
That was a great place up there.
Good old days.
Good stuff, Sean.
Okay.
Thank you, man. Enjoy the day. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome,
All
Mike.
right. It is a reminiscing Wednesday here on the radio. Got a break. News coming up straight ahead at WIBX.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. This holiday season, make your home shine with elegance from Adirondack Home Furniture. Wrap yourself in comfort and create warm holiday memories with family and friends on one of their beautiful sofas or sectionals handcrafted for togetherness. When it's time to eat, Adirondack Home Furniture's dining collection will be the centerpiece of your holiday feast. Celebrate a peaceful escape this year when you gift yourself an Adirondack Home Furniture bedroom transformation from the ordinary to a sanctuary of serenity and relaxation. Handcrafted perfection. Experience the magic of the season with Adirondack Home Furniture. Visit them today and let them help you create a home that's a reflection of your impeccable taste at Adirondack Home Furniture. Horatio Street in Utica at the former Riverside Mall. Browse their inventory online at AdirondackHomeFurniture.com. Happy holidays from Adirondack Home Furniture, where quality is not expensive, it's priceless.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. What the former president told Sean Hannity at a Fox town hall in Iowa.
You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one. When the former president suggested if reelected, he would close the border and order more drilling with his energy policies.
On day two, we'll get rid of this ridiculous electric car mandate.
And the Republican frontrunner who will skip tonight's GOP debate predicts President Biden won't even be the Democratic nominee.
We have a man that can't put two sentences together. We have a man that doesn't know he's alive.
Now, President Biden told a fundraiser in Boston if the former president wasn't running again, he might not be running for re-election, as he keeps warning another Trump term would endanger democracy. In the House Republican probe into Hunter Biden's overseas business dealings, there's a Fox News Digital report that then Vice President Biden used alias email accounts, and two IRS whistleblowers allege there are hundreds of email messages to one of his son's business partners. The president has denied any involvement as House Republicans consider formalizing an impeachment inquiry.
The vote to launch the probe could come next week. Republicans say the Biden administration stonewalled requests for testimony, but Democrats believe this is all a distraction.
Fox's Chad Pergram. Israel keeps bombing Gaza.
Destruction in Gaza's second largest city of Han Yunis. Israeli forces are operating throughout that area as they continue to go after Hamas leadership. Now, as the war rages on, Israel is still gathering intelligence on the hostages still held inside Gaza. Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari says 138 people are currently being held by Hamas.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst in Israel near the Gaza border. 6 people are dead in a shooting spree in Texas. 4 in Austin, where 2 police officers were wounded. 2 others shot dead in the San Antonio area, all killed, police believe, by the same gunman who's in custody, stopped after a chase last night. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Scott, the owner of Solid Fire Pits. When I began welding my custom-made fire pits for friends and family, I shared them on TikTok because I was just so proud of them.
Check it out. That's beautiful.
I posted every new fire pit design and more people kept ordering, from 26 states and counting. Then on my birthday, I had my best sales ever. Now how can the universe beat that?
Solid Fire Pits is just one of the 5 million U.S. businesses that rely on TikTok every day. TikTok sparks business.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time 7:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now we're at 29 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net. Utica police announced a standoff Tuesday that lasted nearly 5 hours. Police say an individual barricaded themselves inside a residence on the 500 block of Cottage Place. The standoff began around 5:15 p.m. and wasn't over until 10:15. Police say the individual was sent to Wynn Hospital for a mental health evaluation and will likely face felony charges. We'll have more details once they're released. Some brand new data shows that the flu is now widespread in the Empire State. According to the State Department of Health, cases have risen by over 25% in the last week, and hospitalizations have surged by 30%. The biggest hotspots in the central New York region are Onondaga, Cayuga, Oneida, and Oswego counties. Folks who have not received a flu shot yet are urged to get one soon. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is going to face a challenge for her seat on Capitol Hill next year. Westchester County entrepreneur and Republican Josh Eisen has now launched his U.S. Senate campaign. The 51-year-old has called Gillibrand a do-nothing senator and claimed that she and her fellow Democrats have failed to deal with important issues. A Gillibrand spokesperson says Eisen's history of things like racism, misogyny, and harassment prove he's not fit for office.
Can you tell me anything that Gillibrand has done?
Well, she came to the Stanley one time, and she read notes off of a card, and I don't even know where she
I don't think she knows anything about this area at all.
No.
And, the only thing I can remember is she was like one of the first to come out and call for
Cuomo to go.
Cuomo to go. Yeah. And Al Franken.
Right, yes.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know, you don't see her in any major legislative issues out there.
No, she's just kind of sitting there keeping the spot warm.
Yeah. I'm one of two.
Well, I can't do anything because Chuck Schumer is the majority leader.
Chuck takes all the limelight.
Yeah.
Sucks it right out.
So, I don't know. Maybe we'll try to reach out to this Mr. Eisen. You never know.
Okay, all right.
You never know. The American Red Cross has unveiled another incentive aimed at getting people to roll up their sleeves and donate blood. Anyone who donates through December 17th will get a $10 Amazon gift card sent to their email. They'll also be entered into a drawing for a prize package that includes a $1,000 Amazon gift card and a 65-inch Amazon Fire TV. To find a donation clinic in your area, head to redcrossblood.org. And two multi-time Grammy Award winners are heading out on tour in 2024, and they'll be making a stop in Syracuse. Pink will be joined by Sheryl Crow for a concert at the JMA Wireless Dome on Sunday, October 6th. Back to your point, Bill, of these concerts not happening until later in 2024, but tickets go on sale this coming Monday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster.
And when is the show?
Sunday, October 6th.
Yeah. Well, I think you have no choice today. Everybody else is coming out. And maybe you got to book the act early, and you've got to show you can be successful by selling tickets. Otherwise, they'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, they'll kind of redirect the tour.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good way of looking at it.
I guess. All right.
WIBX 950 News Time 7:06. Your forecast is brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. It's according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint.
I'm Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, cloudy and chilly, a couple snow flurries and snow showers, but again, any accumulation under an inch. Drier by afternoon, a high of 33. Tonight, mostly cloudy, light snow showers late, a low near 20. And tomorrow, another round of light snow and snow showers, a coating to an inch before tapering late. Cloudy, turning milder late, a high of 35. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Cloudy skies and 29 degrees. It's 7:07. From the IBEW 43 local sports desk, Syracuse has now won 3 of its last 4 after topping Cornell 81-70. The 6-3 Orange will visit Georgetown Saturday morning at 11:30. So set your alarm early on Saturday morning for that one.
Well, and, let's just be honest. Davey, who are the 3 of the 4 teams that Syracuse beat? Can you name them?
Cornell.
That team.
Chaminade.
Chaminade, which is
and they beat LSU,
which is, by the way, a Division II school.
Yeah. They beat LSU,
and LSU was a good victory.
Well, in
although
fairness,
they hadn't won a road game in their last 6 attempts.
Chaminade they beat them by like 50 points.
They did,
So
yeah. That was the way they should have.
You know.
And you know what? Even the Cornell victory is the way I would have expected this game to turn out. That Cornell would give them a tough time. And, you know, there is a Syracuse of the last couple of years that might have lost to a Cornell. Similarly, the way they lost to Colgate.
Yeah, and I think the big thing.
And oh,
is
by the
gonna
way,
be
they beat Colgate earlier in the season.
how they play these ACC teams. Is Virginia in the ACC?
Yes.
Yeah, so how they compete against these ACC teams are really going to be a factor in whether or not they make it to the tournament or not. So.
All right, what else do you have there, Andrew Dominio?
Well, in the NFL, the Giants are sticking with Tommy DeVito as their starting quarterback, or Tommy Cutlets, as he's been
I did not know
known
that
recently.
that's what they call him.
Well, his I think it derives from the fact that A, he's Italian, B, he's from Jersey, I think.
Right.
And C, his family will be known to tailgate outside of the games now. And I saw one meme or some post on Facebook that it's almost Tony Soprano-like, his father.
I don't know that you could. That would be a what's his name? The old Bills quarterback, Davey.
Doug Flutie?
No.
Jim Kelly?
Jim Kelly?
No, who's been on the injured reserve for the Giants?
Oh, Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
So with him coming back, I thought he might be ready for this weekend. Maybe he was, and maybe they want to give Mr. Cutlet an opportunity one more
Mr.
time.
Cutlets, how are you, sir?
It has, if you're a Giants fan, you know, it may not be pretty, but it's been working.
It has, and hopefully that will end this week as head coach Brian Dable confirmed Tuesday DeVito will start Monday night against the Packers at MetLife Stadium. Veteran signal caller Tyrod Taylor is likely ready to return from a ribcage injury, but with DeVito winning 2 of his past 3 games, the G-men decided to stick with the undrafted rookie. Tommy Cutlets has thrown 6 touchdown passes and only 1 interception in his 3 starts. New York's currently 3rd in the NFC at NFC East at 4-8. And the troubles continue for the Jets. This story is just unbelievable. And Jets fans, their frustration goes back years and years, understandably
Not like
so.
this, though. This is just awful.
They're making another move at quarterback. On Tuesday, Gang Green waived Tim Boyle and signed Brett Ripon from the Seattle. Ripon. They're going to be ripping him from the sidelines is what they're going to be doing. And signed him from the Seattle Seahawks practice squad. Boyle completed 41 of 63 passes for 327 and 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions and 2 starts for the green and white.
This whole story of Aaron Rodgers saying he's coming back is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
Now, while the defense has been good for the Jets, and that you can argue at this point, one thing, though, is that offensive line has not. And this is not – I mean, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, I feel like he's only going to get injured all over again.
Yeah, you really need to take this. I mean,
Yet
you said it yourself.
Put some distance between this year and next year. I know he's worried. He's 1 year older next year. I get it, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do. This would be a big mistake to come back.
I agree, and even he himself said that it was all going to be dependent on if the Jets have any playoff hopes. I can tell you right now,
None.
There's
No,
zero chance to make the playoffs.
Although they're in what place?
Third in the NFC East.
Third in the East.
Or AFC East, yeah.
Yeah. So,
behind the Bills, which, you know, I think the Bills will
Bills
end
are
up
not out
with
yet.
10 wins.
They're not out yet, John and Bridgewater. They're not done yet. That's all I'm saying. You agree, Davey? No, you don't agree. Shaking your head.
I do agree, but it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough.
And if the season ended now, they would have to go 4-1.
All right. Okay.
And it don't get easy because we have Kansas City and Dallas.
No doubt.
And you know, it's just kind of ironic that, you know, we went from Favre to Rodgers, and then everybody was so up in arms. Oh, you're getting rid of Favre, and he's going to the Jets. And then Rodgers came in and did his thing, right? And
It's
now
like-
you've got Rodgers at the Jets, and we got
It's
this
like-
kid, Jordan Love, who's just been tearing it up the last 3 years.
It's like where you go to die as a quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
In New Jersey. All right, anything else?
I have comments, but nothing sports related.
Okay. We'll get to that afterwards. Mike, this morning, think about how much money Ticketmaster makes on interest, hanging on to your money for that long. That's a great point, especially when they sell out a stadium. They just hold on to that money.
Interesting.
Now, there may be a payout to the act, but probably not. Probably not.
As an artist, do you want to get paid in advance for the year that you're on, or do you want to get paid at the end of the tour? I feel like
Well,
I'd want the check after every show.
As a venue, do you want to pay the artists before they show up?
Good point.
There are some.
Not me.
There are some that I wouldn't trust with that. So, all right. Anything else? I think we're good. I got a break. I got a lot going on. Noah Dinerstein. Dinerstein. I'm gonna ask you what it is once and for all, and we're gonna write it phonetically for the rest of our lives
in our brains.
A fundraiser going on at the Jewish Community Center, and of course tomorrow kicks off Hanukkah. And later on in the hour, we'll do Micah's free money question of the day. And hold on, it's 7:13. It's a Wednesday morning on WIBX.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information that you should know regarding your estate planning. Specifically, you should have prepared what is known as the Big Three. Basic estate planning is comprised of the three main documents that you need. First is the will, next is the healthcare proxy, and last is the power of attorney. What most people don't know is how important of the three the power of attorney really is, because New York State has no simple method for you to act on another's behalf if they become incapacitated. I am often asked, what is probate and why is it needed? Probate is the act of administering the will through the New York State court system. It requires a filing fee and other actions to be taken, as well as a petition to be filed. It is time-consuming and can be expensive. It can be avoided by using a living trust. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name. They know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
Keeler, I know you're in there.
Tim, what are you doing?
Your wife says you're procrastinating and overdue for your cancer screening.
I am doing it, I promise you.
You'd think after you had cancer the first time you'd be smarter than this.
I'm actually prepping for my colonoscopy right now as we speak. I have to go.
You're not getting rid of me that easily.
I really have to go. Badly.
This holiday, make the pledge to get tested for cancer. Early detection could save your life.
We need more toilet paper.
Real men get tested for cancer.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
It's time to save big every day during our 25 days of deals at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 50% off select artificial Christmas trees, holiday lights, and more. Plus, get 40% off and free local truck delivery on select vanities to elevate your bathroom. Find these savings in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows deals every day. Valid through 12/6 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
As a leader in green building projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and is now a clean heat approved contractor for residential electric heat pumps. Save up to 40% off your natural gas or oil heating system monthly bill by upgrading to an electric heat pump. Now's a great time to replace that old furnace and boiler with New York State incentives and tax advantages. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey electric heat pump with various packages and options available. control. Potentia can also help design, supply, and install residential and commercial electric vehicle charging systems at your home or business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, they guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or potentiamanagement.com. That's potentiamanagement.com.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The IBEW Local 43 and the National Electrical Contractors Association have been a part of Central New York for over 100 years. The IBEW state-of-the-art training facility offers classroom instruction as well as everyday on-the-job construction training. From the Carrier Dome to our local hospitals, malls, schools, and city buildings, Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 will continue to help light, power, and grow our community.
IBEW Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
Black Friday deal at Mattress Express. King or Queen Select Therapeutic Flex Head. Each head goes up and down independently, but it's still one solid mattress with adjustable base. Get a 75-inch flat screen TV. Visit any store.
Well, we'll do what we have to do. At Steep Honey Mazda, that's what Ricky Z always says. We'll do what we have to do. When you come in and you say, I need a lower payment, I need a better deal, Ricky Z says, we'll do what we need to do. At Steep Honey Mazda, creating the ultimate customer experience continues to be their number one goal. That could be a brand new vehicle. It could be a pre-owned as well. Mazda's Season of Inspiration sales event is going on. They select their best late model Mazdas for their Mazda certified pre-owned vehicles, offering a 160-point inspection and balance of the 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. And if you need a lower price or payment, let's make your deal on a Mazda certified pre-owned vehicle. From the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction, it's Steep Honey Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Forget it, Andrew. Forget it. Forget it, man.
My headphones aren't as loud as yours, but
we'll do
loud.
It live. We'll do it live.
I'll write it and we'll come back and we'll do it live.
You remember that Bill O'Reilly's big thing where he went off on a flip out, right? He went on a flip out. He did a Casey Kasem. No. He lost his job over something
sexual harassment
allegations.
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Who doesn't?
All right, Andrew, what do you have?
Well, we were going to have
get some comments. Just move on.
Oh, the comments. Yeah, sorry. Beep. This is from Robin in Rome. Good morning, Bill. As a listener of the show and as a member of the community, is there anything we can do for Dr. Hall to thank him for all he has done? I'm not sure.
Boy, that's a great question.
I'm not sure if you have anything planned for him. I'm willing to help if you do have anything planned. Thank you, Robin Carey.
Well, let me just say to that, the gift that I will give to Dr. Hall is I'm probably going to force him to change his cell phone. Because every time there's any ailment in my house, I immediately text Dr. Hall.
Remember, he was
and I always start by saying, I know it's not during the show, and I apologize for that, but.
Yeah, right. I remember back when everything was, when I had COVID and then when I got the shot.
We were texting him.
Sorry for the copay-free advice here.
Yeah.
But
well, the reality is, during that time period, Dr. Hall was on every single day.
Yeah.
And he was the voice of reason. When we were hearing all these things coming out, contradicting issues and all this stuff coming out nationally, you had Dr. Hall every morning to say, somebody, I heard on TV this, or I saw on Facebook this, and Dr. Hall was there through all of COVID.
Yeah.
And, boy, that guy, you're right. Something should be done.
I have a few ideas, too, that we've tossed around before, so I'll let you know about those.
All right.
And then
Paul,
finally,
what do you think?
Well, who's taking Dr. Hall's place?
I don't know the answer to that.
TBD.
And I wonder if Dr. Hall was somebody brought in because they needed someone for the transition, someone with experience for the transition. I don't know.
I think maybe yes and no, but I think that role in any hospital administration is definitely necessary to be in charge of all the physicians.
Yeah.
So chief physician.
Well, I'm not saying they're not going to replace him.
Oh, you're saying him specifically for the transition.
Yes, I'm wondering if that was,
Is he going to stay in the area?
I don't know anything.
I've been told he is.
Okay, all right.
I talked to him about that yesterday. So.
Great loss.
A big loss, yeah.
Dick and
Deerfield. Can I just say, I always, when and I always try, maybe I don't do it always, but I always try. When I'm reading a story that is somebody else's, I always credit them.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Do you know the number of stories that we break here? And I'm trying to pat myself on the back, Paul. Because it's not me. Andrew plays a big role with it. Davey plays. We all work. When Manaski was here, he did. It's all a group effort. And sometimes you get a little piece of breaking news, and you don't even expect it. Tom Nitty was a big example, right? Nobody had the story. Nobody that he was involved in a divorce, had a new girlfriend, and that was causing a lot of the stress that was going on. And he put his kids first, and why he left. But even more than that, local stories, even the. I hate to say, the Lapola Karam story. These stories that get broken here in this morning it happens all the time. But never, ever do you ever read in the newspaper, according to WIBX or the Keeler in the Morning radio program or whatever, never. We don't get credit for anything. I always say, if I read something in the OD, I'm like, yes. It might be old. It might be
it might be 4 days ago.
Everybody knows about it already.
4-day-old story, but I'm giving credit to the OD. Yeah. But, whether it's KTV or UTR or the Rome Sentinel, although I will say about 3 or 4 months ago, the Rome Sentinel quoted us in a story. And I do appreciate that because it's somebody else's work. You're like, well, no, we confirmed it. We called him up and we confirmed that it's exactly what happened. So we got our own version of the story. No, you took our uncovering of the story, you took our investigating into the story and digging in, and the interview itself. You took all of that and then you just confirmed it, and that became because without what we did, the work we did, there should have been credit. Damn it. And there isn't. There never will be. I don't expect it. It's never going to happen because they don't give us credit, Paul. They don't do it. They don't do it.
If they weren't talking about Christmas safety tips, they wouldn't have had anything else.
Thou art, will you please?
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Speaking of Christmas.
I'm not really that bothered by it, except at night when I'm sitting and watching something or reading something. My wife is like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's your wife.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And she'll be like, have another cocktail. And that's how every night goes in my house, Paul. Yeah.
We've got one more comment from Dick in Deerfield.
Sorry.
Let's get back to Christmas here.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Regarding Bill's theory about all the Christmas music radio stations affecting the pop chart, Billboard ratings have always been combined, both radio play and sales. A lot has changed since '83, the year he picked Tuesday. Back then, the most common measurement of song sales was the number of 45 sold compared to all the metrics today, streaming and downloads, for example. So today's Billboard Top 10 doesn't compare to the song ratings way back when for lots of reasons.
Well, he is correct. Billboard, remember, you had two, there were three. It was Cashbox years ago. Radio and Records used to put out a chart. And then there was, and Billboard. Billboard was basically the standard and still is today. Billboard goes by record sales and airplay. So the difference, though, is, I'm sorry, I agree with you. There's streaming today, and there's all sorts of options for people to get their music, and they measure it that way. However, you cannot deny, because we've seen it and we know it to be true, ratings, it screws up the ratings. So if a radio show is number one all year long, and all of a sudden in December they start playing Christmas music, it's shocking. The radio station playing the Christmas music shoots way up. It might be a station you've never heard of, and all of a sudden they shoot up way high in the ratings. It happens. There's something about playing Christmas music. It sends everything into whack, and that includes the fact that, I don't know, 8 of the 10 songs in the Billboard Hot 100, in the top 10, 8 of the 10 songs are Christmas songs.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to even put a cherry on the top. Andy Williams has a song at number 10 on the pop charts. So,
a different one, hasn't he?
I mean, think about it. That was my theory yesterday. And when radio stations go to all Christmas music, it messes with the top charts, the Hot 100.
My bride.
I don't think you're wrong.
My bride and I were driving back from Charlotte after Thanksgiving, and all we heard was Christmas songs. I was ready to grab the wheel and just pull off.
Right. I mean, it gets to the right.
We lived a good life. We had a good Thanksgiving.
Well, this
Merry
stemmed
Christmas.
from the fact that for the first time ever, Brenda Lee's "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" hit number 1 on the Billboard charts. And what I'm saying is, you have to say that with an asterisk, because this is a time where all of everything has changed. And maybe it does include streaming, but mostly it's the fact that radio stations play Christmas music starting almost at Halloween, 24/7.
But certain songs bring back memories, sweet memories of Christmas, don't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Like you just said, Brenda Lee. I remember Brenda Lee when I was,
Yeah. Do you know how old she was when she did that song?
No.
13.
Really?
Yeah, you dirty dog, you.
Wow.
Here's an interesting thing, and how much airplay on the Billboard charts can play a role. Back in, it was either the Electric Slide or Macarena. When I was working in Providence, Pro FM and the station I was on was going in a battle back and forth on who was going to play that song more. And it was literally being played every half hour by both radio stations. The song, just out of Providence alone with that increase, the song shot up quickly to number 1. And they credited it with the fact that the battle going on in Providence. Airplay can play a huge role. That's all I'm saying. Does anybody really care about this except for me?
Does anybody really
I
care
can tell when
about
Paul
them?
starts getting on his phone, what's going on?
I just Googled Brenda Lee. She's 78 years old.
Yeah. There you go. All right, anything else, Andrew?
That is all the comments as of
All
now.
right.
Happy Lance.
We have Hobica's free money question. Mr. Spurbeck. Good morning, Buckshot. A little message from YouTube this morning.
Beautiful. He's down in Georgia, right? Atlanta?
Yeah.
So actually, with Buckley here, we just had one more comment pop in. And
Okay.
I don't know that you will know this, but maybe you can pass the message along. Are there any intentions to at least straighten the letters out on the stupid new Utica sign that we've wasted money on? I personally think it looks good.
Is it?
I don't know. Are they crooked?
I didn't know that I don't think that they were crooked.
Through the entire Thanksgiving holiday, it said urinary tract infection.
It did, yeah.
Instead of TNA?
Is it?
Yes.
Is it fixed now? Is it all?
No, it
up?
is. It's the full board.
It's all up. I mean,
right.
and those are the guys from Utica Sign and Graphic and Science and Graphics did a great job.
Yeah.
I have no idea if it's crooked or not. I'll check it out.
I don't think John and Utica.
I don't think it's crooked. It can't be crooked. They would have leveled that. But how do you level a C? That's not easy to do.
No, it's not. It's got the natural curve on
Yeah,
it. So.
not easy. Okay, and Mike says, and the OD always runs that wonderful picture of you. Yeah, I swear to God, it's like the worst photo in the world. It's like they caught me. I'm scared because there's a spider on my leg or something, and I haven't shaved, similar to today, and I, it's No Shave Wednesday, and I just look horrible, and that's the photo they keep running. Pieces of garbage.
See your class picture?
Huh?
Is it your senior class picture?
Yeah, it might be. It might be.
I think you'd rather have
I
that.
didn't shave back then. It took me years, believe me. I got a break. We'll do Hobica's free money question of the day, and then Mr. Buckley has some big news.
Yes, I do.
To talk about. This is big news, and we're going to get into it coming up in a second. Davey, do you want to do? We'll have Andrew do an update on the news, and then we'll come back and do Hobica's free money question this morning. Joe has. I don't know. Let's see what we do. Joe has said, if you give away more than $100 in a day between now and the new year, I'm pulling the whole thing.
Ooh, hold on.
So do you want to? So do we call him on it and see?
You call his bluff?
Do we call his bluff?
Don't taunt Joe.
Do we call his bluff? We'll see. Andrew has news coming up next to WIBX.
Who doesn't love a great deal? We all do. And that's why Bremer's Wine and Liquor has carefully selected 8 very special wines and priced them under $8. Sure, we already offer hundreds of wines for less than $8, but these 8 wines are truly remarkable, handpicked by our experts. You'll be amazed by the quality you're getting for such a low price, including award winners like Wine Spectator Best Values and wines rated 90 points or higher by Wine Enthusiast. Reds, whites, rosés, whatever you're into, you'll find it. And we're constantly updating our 8 under 8 selection to help you discover more new wines for less money. All of our 8 under 8 are wines you'll love and want to share with friends. They're all hand-selected, deeply discounted, and they drink like you paid a lot more. Hey, you've got good taste, and so do we, for under $8. Adventure into great new wines with our 8 wines under $8 at Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
28 years ago, Lori Potasowicz had a dream. With a natural love for pets, she wanted to become an expert groomer. So she set out to become the area's only nationally certified master groomer and launched her business, one paw at a time. With grooming expertise and a lot of loving care, Lori and her talented team began caring for pets one paw at a time. Cuts, shampoos, and styling, one paw at a time. Teeth and nails with no detail overlooked from head to toe, one paw at a time. Getting to know each and every dog and cat by name, the One Paw at a Time family grew, and Lori had a decision to make. Keep expanding? She followed her heart and decided to keep the One Paw family atmosphere just the way it is, so she can keep taking care of the pets she knows and loves, one paw at a time. Lori and her team want to thank the families they serve for putting their trust in them to care for their 4-legged family members, one paw at a time. 320 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro near Woods Road. One Paw appreciates your understanding for their current waiting list for new customers.
Christmas, more than any other time, is for the gathering of families to celebrate the joy that the season brings, reflecting on the blessings of the past year. For many at the Rome Rescue Mission, there is no home, no family, and no joy. Children cannot experience the joy of Santa because no one can afford a gift for them. And to many, Christmas Day brings only more loneliness and misery. The good news is it doesn't have to be this way. With your generous donation of $20, you can provide Christmas for a child at the Rome Rescue Mission. A traditional Christmas meal, a visit from Santa, a toy, and celebrating the birth of baby Jesus can all be made possible with a donation of just $20. Please consider what you can do to pass along the joy of this season. Donate now at romemission.org. That's romemission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
The holidays are the happiest time of the year. That is, unless you or your loved ones are miserable because of colds, sinus infections, or allergies. This holiday season, give the gift of better breathing with Navage. What makes Navage so effective? Well, unlike cold and allergy drugs that might take a long time to help, if they're effective at all, Navage provides fast relief from sinus congestion in 30 seconds flat. Navage doesn't just relieve symptoms, it attacks the cause by sucking out the germs, allergens, and viruses trapped in your nose that are making you feel miserable. Best of all, Navage does it naturally, without drugs. Wash away your cold and congestion problems this holiday season. Add Navage to your gift list so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier all year long. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Do you dread turning your heat up or paying your utility bill? I'm Jen, and my team at Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating can help. Through the Empower New York program, we've helped thousands of people qualify for completely free insulation and heating upgrades, bringing energy savings to over 6,500 homes in our area. If you qualify for HEAP or SNAP, you're halfway there already. We can help reduce your energy bills while making your home more comfortable, all for free. Call us today at 315-859-6292. We promise to save you money.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering Americans. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
I want to tell you about River Hills Properties, the fastest-growing real estate company in central New York. 15 years ago, no one knew their name. They weren't around. They wanted to start a real estate company that offered services that are not offered around here. Andrew knows this firsthand. It's how he's been brought up in the real estate industry.
That's how I've been taught.
It's all about working hard for the customer. That helps the buyer as well. If the seller has less stress, better for the buyer. If the sale is very well listed, if the video is pristine, the photos are done perfectly, and the book which describes the house and has all of the improvements. The potential buyer doesn't have to worry about asking many questions because it's all listed right there in the book, right? The book is very
I had
important.
a recent listing where the buyer received a book, copy of it, and there was warranty information about the dryer. The dryer went. They called the company. Dryer was fixed.
All because it was all placed in the book, and it's all very organized. It becomes, for the buyer, it becomes the manual for the home.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a big plus. It's all those little things that are done. And, oh, yes, no lockbox. Your listing agent is there every time the house is shown. In Barneville, Little Falls, and Utica, in 2024, if you're thinking about selling your home, give a representative from River Hills Properties a call. Online, riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIDX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, good morning. Good morning. It's 7:40 in the studio right now. Oh, we got to do our free money question. Davey,
Did we solicit the caller already?
I didn't yet. Davey, what call are you looking for?
Caller.
Keep it low.
Low?
Yeah.
Keep it low.
4.
Caller number 4. Okay. Fourth caller through the lines at 315-736-0186. I'm sticking with Hobica. It will be caller number, or it'll be $100, at least for today.
We don't want to upset the apple cart.
It'll be $100. Your chance to win $100 from Hobica. Caller number 4 right now at 315-736-0186. And here he is, Paul Buckley in studio. Good morning.
Good morning, William. Good morning, Andrew.
Are you following any of the, and I know we have some big stuff, but I got to do the contest anyway,
fine,
so I'll stall.
Fine.
Are you following
We're
any?
vamping.
Are you following any of the Karam and Lapola thing?
I am not. I'm just from what I'm hearing on TV and stuff like that. I've heard some rumors and stuff like that. It's
well,
terrible.
I mean,
it's terrible.
it is terrible,
Yeah.
right? Especially for a school district that is already considered one of the poorest districts in all of New York State.
My question is, when these people get caught, how do they think they're going to get away with it? I mean, that's the first thing that comes
I don't know. I mean, listen, fair.
Everybody gets caught.
Innocent until proven guilty.
Of course.
These are charges. But you know, here is and for what? It always ends up that way, right? It's how that much money? It's worth it for that much money? I don't understand it. But a while back I had given credit to Mr. Habaika, and I think that when he came on the board, he really listened. He made it his job to dig in and look for transparency.
Well, didn't Howard Potter help him out a lot? Didn't Howard Potter help out Joe?
And I know there's a little back and forth, and I haven't gotten Howard on, but Howard Potter, local businessman, has been pelting the district, saying, in fact, the last email that I got from Howard said, I worked so hard to get rid of Karam and LaPolla, and it's falling on deaf ears with the current district right now, with the current school board. So I think I think credit should be given where credit is due. Howard Potter did play a big role, and in fact, I don't know if you heard, but the governor actually recognized that just recently.
Really?
Governor Hochul. Here's the audio.
This is Governor Kathy Hochul. Today, I'm proud to give the Medal of Investigative Honor to a great man in Utica who has already spent much time congratulating himself for all of the great work he has done.
Well deserved, Isabel.
Yes. A man who single-handedly and quite honestly, so bravely, blew the whistle on Bruce Karam and Lou LaPolla, exposing their illegal activity as they stole from the children of Utica.
Allegedly. Governor.
Howard Potter, thank you for saving Utica's school district, and thank you for saving the children. Thank you for being there to get things done when no one else did anything at all. Please accept this award on behalf of all New Yorkers who thank you for being a hero. The award comes with this commemorative T-shirt with the words, Howard Potter, he's our man. If he can't do it, nobody can. Screen printed on the front. Thank you, hero. In other words, thank you, Howard. You are the man.
That's the dream I had last night. I woke up this morning, I'm like, I had a dream that the governor came to Utica and gave Howard Potter an award for going after LaPolla and Karam and helping to clean up the school board. And I'll ask you, Paul Buckley, anybody you know gave him credit? Anybody give him credit?
I just want to know who printed the shirt.
I imagine, I would hope they used Howard Potter's company to print the shirt.
He'd be pissed.
Here, print your own shirt here. Okay?
They use a competitor. That would be awful.
Oof.
Now, that would be a problem.
Yeah, he'd go after Hochul next.
Let me give you a chance to win. All right, Hochul would be the next one. And we'd be thanking him for getting rid of her.
Oh, would we?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
All right. Well, anyway, it was in my dreams last night. I usually go to bed reading one of Howard's emails when I'm going to bed, and I don't know, it was stuck in my head, and I'm like, for God's sakes, I woke up this morning. Is it real or was it a dream?
Wow.
And then I automatically had the audio, so maybe it was real. Here's John in Bridgewater, ready to take a shot of Habaika's free money question of the day. John,
hey, Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you.
You wake up in a sweat?
I was sweating. It was awful. It was awful. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. I might be going through menopause. It's terrible. Yeah, that's how I feel. All right. Yep. Are you ready? Are you ready for today's free money question? What do you like? What topics do you like? What's a good one for you?
I don't know. Utica politics.
Well, that I don't know if I can give you that. I don't.
All right. Well, anything you throw at me.
There's too many pending charges.
All right. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give you this one. Okay. You'll have 7 seconds to answer the question, okay?
Yep.
7 seconds to answer. Right. And here is the question. No, that's not a good one for you. All right, let's go with this one. If you have the Rolling Stones 45 RPM single of No Use in Crying, on the flip side, what song is on the flip side that actually became a bigger hit? Ready, go.
Rolling Stone. I don't know.
Just throw out a song.
My mind went blank. I don't know. Rolling Stone. I haven't heard.
So they released the song No Use in Crying and thought that was going to be the hit, but Start Me Up became the big hit.
I was going to guess that.
Yeah, Start Me Up.
You would have been $100.
Yeah.
You would have ended the free money question as we know it.
Mm-hmm, right. It would have been you.
Right.
So now tomorrow it's going to be 100 and not 200 because I was waiting until tomorrow to build it up. Well, you didn't win, so I know.
Now
I got a chance tomorrow.
You got a chance
Maybe
tomorrow.
this should be like, and we'll run this by Habaika. Maybe it should be like Mega Millions or Powerball, where if we don't get a winner,
every day.
it continues to grow.
Yeah, all right.
All right. Hey, Bill, thank you.
Unlike your eye, which is the only human organ that never grows. That was going to be your other question. So
that's great.
All right, John.
All right.
We'll. I think we just gave you an all-in-one food and fun card, did we?
That's awesome.
All right, we're going to give it to you again. So stand by. Davey's going to hook you up. It's the all-in-one food and fun card. It's $25 gift card. And, they're selling right now for $20. You get 5 free. If you were to spend $40, you would get 10 free, and so on and so on. Good at Aquavino, Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, concession stands at Adirondack Bank Center, Nexus, a lot of hockey going on there right now, and also in the gift shop. In studio right now, here he is, Paul Buckley.
Good morning.
Good morning, Paul. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, I don't know how you guys do it every morning. What time do you guys get? Like 5 o'clock in the morning?
Cocktail at 5:30. We go on at 6.
Now I know how you do it.
It works. You have some big news.
I do. I'm coming and bearing
Paul,
some...
Mike says his big news is he's going to be able to keep his job.
Yay!
Who's Mike?
So listen,
Mike. We call
Mike
him
Galimi. He called in to say you're going to keep your job.
Mike Elect. Yeah.
Well, I better keep my job because I've got 2 films coming in 24. I've got one coming in January. I got one coming in February.
Now these are pretty big ones you're talking about.
Well, yeah, they're substantial budgets. They're a couple $2-3 million, that kind of stuff.
Okay,
and,
nice.
Yeah, so they're coming in, and I can't talk much about the second one because I don't know the name of it, but it is a franchise of films that I don't know. I can't give you the genre because I don't know much about it, but I know I'm going to give you the list. You can put it up on your website or something like that. Can you?
Yeah, sure. We'll make it happen.
So I've got
because here's the thing: they're looking for
they're looking for the
housing. They're looking for extras.
Well,
they're looking for.
One I don't want to put the cart before the horse. But
okay,
the first one we got is coming in January. It's called the Christmas Card. It was written by a gentleman in Rochester, and he's been down here for the last year and a half. Bothering me.
Is this the guy with the Christmas stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
different.
Different. So this is kind of a takeoff on the National Lampoon's Christmas stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're in conversations now with Chevy Chase to be in the movie.
Really?
Yes.
That's like you might as well get Joe Biden.
Yeah, exactly,
right.
Exactly. That's what I heard. I have no idea.
Oh,
he's got bats
Not
in the
good.
belfry.
Yeah, I swear to God, in a race, Biden is doing circles around him as he.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of Chevy Chase's. So
Yeah,
I don't know anything about him.
he's become kind of an angry. He hates SNL. He's sorry to rain on your parade, but
No,
but
God,
still,
no.
it'd be a big deal to have him here.
I never thought he was funny. I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
liked the guy. So
Well, I'd stay clear of Chevy Chase.
so anyway,
Dan Aykroyd, on the other hand, sharp and funny. That's the guy you got to go after.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
All right. So anyway, so this the Christmas card. I talked to the location director, the line director yesterday on the phone. A young lady from Australia, lovely accent, and she told me she wants some, and this is gonna probably be like a full-time job for like 2 weeks. So they want a production.
So it's going to be a Christmas movie they're doing.
Yeah,
I got to say, these Christmas movies do very, very well because you have there's 3 or 4 channels that just play 24/7 Christmas movies.
Yeah. And I've seen the script of this one. It's pretty funny. I mean, the guy
right.
wrote it himself, so it made me laugh. It was some good stuff.
That's
so,
big.
And so
right
there's a lot of physical gags in it. We got to get all that stuff done. So I've got people online for all that stuff. So what they need now, they need production. And like I said, this is going to be a full-time job for a couple weeks, 2-3 weeks. And it pays, and it pays pretty well too. A day.
So they need what? What do they need?
Like maybe $200 a day.
All right. What do they need?
They need production assistants.
Production
They
assistants.
need a second assistant cameraman.
Do you need experience to be a production assistant?
Yes,
oh, you
yes,
do.
Yes. Well, not a PA. I don't think so. But I mean, maybe
Okay.
like a second unit cameraman. They want that. A digital transfer guy to store all the stuff. They need a best boy, which is probably could be one of us.
Yeah. We're always.
They need grips, key grips. And also, they need a set teacher, which I don't really. They have kids in the movie, so they have to be like when they're not on set, they have to be
a set teacher.
Yes.
Well,
So
my
there's
wife
that-
could do
and
that.
so- and
You could be the cameraman.
We're gonna make a ton of money in January. This is gonna be big.
Allison could do this.
Yeah, this is huge.
But I mean, you have to be a certified set teacher because I guess New York and California are really sticklers about this.
Right. So their kids on set.
So they need to be taught.
They have to go to school.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, and of course they need some stuntmen and stuff like that. But they have to be professionals, right? I mean, some guy just can't come and say, "Yeah, I'll fall off a building."
Right.
But that's
right.
But what's really key?
Where's Jamie Nimey when you need him? I remember Jamie Nimey is
we're also
Evil
gonna
Knievel
need
stuff.
We're gonna need an RV for like makeup and portable, like so if we can rent that or just someone wants to donate it. Or something like that.
Okay.
But that's key. because they're going to be moving around from set to set, and they want to have a place where the actors are going to get made up and stuff like that. So an RV would be great if we could help us out. So that's about it.
So we're basically going to put up on our site the laundry list of things that are needed.
Right.
And where would someone call if they can accomplish any of these things?
They're going to. I don't know if I should do this, but I've got to send it to my email address.
To you.
Okay.
Okay. That's a good idea. Not your personal cell?
I don't want my phone number. Oh, okay. But it's just pbuckley@cityofutica.com.
All right. So,
just spell it
so
out.
if you have maybe some experience, if you would like to teach, you're a retired teacher, and you could teach on.
You have to be a certified set teacher. I mean,
you have to be a certified set
teacher?
teacher?
Yes. You have to have a certification from New York State or something. I say, yeah, I know a lot of people, a lot of teachers, they go, she goes, no, it has to be a certified set teacher.
Well, I think if you're a certified teacher, you should be able to get a.
I would think so.
I would think so. Easy transition.
But I think there's some restrictions from New York State. I don't know. From the film commission, I don't know.
Okay.
But that's that movie, and they're coming into town next week. The line director and the director and the photographer.
So this will be filming, filming in Utica in January.
Yep.
All right.
And we got a lot of locations, and the people that we've talked to already. I'm really impressed, and I love the people of Utica because they're so agreeable and ready to help out and stuff like that.
You know what I'm liking about, when we started doing movies in Utica, where obviously Slapshot was filmed, much of it was filmed in Utica. But when we started doing movies in Utica, in the beginning, it was like every shot was a picture of a Utica sign. And it was almost, it got to the point where it was ridiculous, right? It was cool, but it was kind of like, God, I mean, in other movies, it's not like when they're in Boston, they're showing Boston signs all over the place. It just kind of blends in the background. You pay no attention. That started to happen in movies that are made, like, for instance, the one, A Quiet Place, which didn't really have much in Utica, but in the Valley, in Little Falls. Yeah. There's no reference to the fact that it was in Little Falls. They just thought it was a great place to film.
Right.
And I think that has happened. And you, a lot of credit to you for making that happen.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
But like some movies, it's like any town USA, and they don't. But now that we've got the Utica sign down there, we can really identify ourselves.
You can, yeah.
So
just got to get it straightened out a little bit.
Well, I'll have to talk to the director about that too. And then I've got another movie coming up. We need. I'll give you a list. We need a blacksmith location because they're going to be forging some metal. I guess I don't know. I'm not that familiar with this.
Is there a blacksmith in town?
Well, I was thinking of Joel Grimaldi from Metalogics. He does all that fabricating.
Yeah, they could probably do that.
I was thinking maybe just darken up one of his corners and stuff like that. College campus, we got plenty of those. A warehouse. I've already got a bar, a shopping mall department store that they can film at, and they want to do this at night. It'll have like clothing and stuff. And I'm thinking like maybe Boscov's or something. I'm not sure.
Well, Sangertown's quiet usually on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
If you're looking for a horror movie, you can go to New Hartford Shopping Center.
Well, just in the parking lot alone, it would be like, and there he is climbing out of the pothole.
No, all you got to do is go into Ollie's.
All right,
good stuff, cheap.
We're gonna all lose our jobs today.
We've got homes,
and then you won't get rehired.
We need certain homes too. So just check out the website. Email me. Send me your photographs of your homes and your locations and stuff like that. And for the other film, please just send me your resumes and your qualifications. They kind of like demand that you have some kind of experience in this field. So
okay.
It may narrow it down a little bit, but yeah, and we're bringing money. These things are bringing money in the town. They're going to be paying jobs, staying in our hotels, eating in our restaurants, all that kind of stuff. So it's good.
It is good, and it does seem to be happening. In the beginning, it was like, why would anybody want to come here? And you heard a lot of people saying that and film a movie here, but it is. They're these movie companies, and we're talking about real budgets. You're not
cheap
blockbuster budgets,
right.
but you're talking about millions of dollars in budgeting.
Yeah.
And you come to a place where there's a community willing to really, really work with you, and you don't get that in L.A. and you don't get that in New York.
We were doing a shot in Beauchamp Drive, the street there behind Utica Coffee.
Yes.
And Nina's Pizza came out and gave the crew pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, they're sweet. People are just sweet in this town.
Yeah.
And there were some people, the Utica Coffee brought coffee out too. So it's wonderful. I mean, the people open their arms for the people in the film business. So it's great. So.
I got to say, before it's torn down, this is Ray this morning, and I think he comes up with a brilliant idea, and I think Tim Julian would be okay with it. St. E's would be a great movie location to shoot before they decide to tear it down.
I've already sent the pictures.
You have?
Yes.
Because there's
That's for the horror film.
New York. Well, they want a hospital set. But they do.
Well, there you go.
I sent some photos down to the Film Commission of New York City. So
wow. Think
they're all
about
over that. I know.
Yeah.
Before it's torn down. Exactly.
Before it's torn down. Yeah.
No, it'd be a perfect set.
I like it.
Because it's going to take some time for this. I mean, they could probably come in and do a series, shoot like maybe for a year.
Sure.
And there's like 2 or 3 years of a show. So
yeah.
Okay, that's really good.
Yeah,
good.
Well, thank you for that idea.
We'll have it up on our website. Your email address is
pbuckley, PBUCKLEY at CITYOFUTICA.com.
Okay, good luck with that.
Want me to slow that down?
And then finally, Julie this morning says, now I'm just saying it, not to have you in, but maybe you can take this back to City Hall. Thank God someone else mentioned the crooked letters. It bothers me every day. Fix the C. It's not a standard block letter. For some reason, the ends are angled and it makes it look crooked. My father was a commercial artist, so I know a little bit about it. It is crooked.
It's the C and the T?
You said the T.
Someone said the T, yeah.
The T and the C.
And the C. Is a bit crooked. I don't know.
All right, well, I'll check it out.
Well, you can't have a crooked Utica.
No, God, no.
They'd be getting
a
people
crooked Utica school.
They'd be getting rid of people from the school district. It would just be terrible.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
It goes down.
Well, this was enjoyable. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, William. And hopefully the people will come out. And if you're going to take these gigs, you're going to have to dedicate like 2 weeks to these
little
people.
time.
So,
all right, cool.
Yeah. So
gotta go.
Send me your stuff.
News is next.
Hi, this is Rob Hilton of Hilton Estate and Elder Law with important information for families that have disabled children to protect the child and to ensure your future wishes are met. So if you have a disabled child, you need to provide them with what's called a special needs trust. This trust allows them to receive an inheritance from you, but also allows them to keep any governmental benefits that they are receiving. It is critically important that if they have an inheritance coming, that they not lose their benefits. Unmarried couples should be aware of important steps they need to take with their estate planning. If a partner dies and does not leave a will, the surviving partner will not likely receive any of the assets from the deceased partner. This can create a lot of problems in the future and must be resolved utilizing a will or a trust. To find out more about strategies to protect your loved ones through proper estate planning, contact us at Hilton Estate and Elder Law. Call for more information and to schedule an in-person meeting to answer your questions.
Hilton, you know the name, they know the law. Hilton Estate and Elder Law.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
Former President Trump goes prime time in Iowa. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're up, I guess, by like 30 or 40 points, but we're not taking any chances.
Though the Republican frontrunner running to get his job back will skip tonight's GOP debate again. After a Trump town hall on Fox at Fox's Tanya J. Powers reports raised eyebrows when he was asked
to categorically say he would not retaliate against his political opponents if he wins re-election next year.
You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Sean Hannity asked again for clarification.
We're closing the border, and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator, okay?
President Biden also raised eyebrows at a fundraiser in Boston.
If Trump wasn't running, I'm not sure I'd be running, but we cannot let him win. Biden has repeatedly warned that democracy is at stake if Trump secures a second term.
That's Fox's Jackie Heinrich. House Republicans could vote next week to formalize an impeachment inquiry. As Fox News Digital reports, 2 IRS whistleblowers claim then Vice President Biden used email alias accounts exchanging messages with one of his son's business partners. Now, the president's denied any role in Hunter Biden's business dealings. A man in Texas facing capital murder charges after a shooting spree that left 6 people dead, 2 in a home in Austin. Then a cyclist was shot and wounded.
Right before they engaged with police who were responding to a burglary in progress at a home in Austin. One officer was shot at the scene before the suspect sent authorities on a high-speed chase.
And Fox's Brooke Simon reports he was stopped and arrested. 2 more victims found in Austin, 2 more shot dead in San Antonio, 2 police officers injured. Israel keeps bombarding southern Gaza, going after Hamas.
Fuel and medical supplies are at critically low levels, say aid groups, and hospitals overflowing with wounded civilians. Israel's push into southern Gaza means 600,000 people are being told to evacuate.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Scott, the owner of Solid Fire Pits. When I began welding my custom-made fire pits for friends and family, I shared them on TikTok because I was just so proud of them.
Check it out. That's beautiful.
I posted every new fire pit design, and more people kept ordering, from 26 states and counting. Then on my birthday, I had my best sales ever. Now how can the universe beat that?
Solid Fire Pits is just one of the 5 million U.S. businesses that rely on TikTok every day. TikTok sparks business.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 8:03. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, it's 28 degrees with some flurries. Here in Marcy, your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica. Utica police announced a standoff Tuesday that lasted 5 hours. Police say an individual barricaded themselves inside a residence on the 500 block of Cottage Place. The standoff began at around 5:15 p.m. and wasn't ended until 10:15. Police say the individual was sent to Wynn Hospital for a mental health evaluation and will likely face felony charges. We'll have more details once they're released. Some brand new data shows that the flu is now widespread in the Empire State. According to the State Department of Health, cases have risen by over 25% in the last week, and hospitalizations have surged by 30%. The biggest hotspots in the central New York region are Onondaga, Cayuga, Oneida, and Oswego counties. Folks who have not received a flu shot yet are urged to get one. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand will be facing a challenge for her seat on Capitol Hill next year. Westchester County entrepreneur and Republican Josh Eisen has now launched his U.S. Senate campaign. The 51-year-old Eisen had called Gillibrand a do-nothing senator and claimed that she and her fellow Democrats have failed to deal with important issues. A Gillibrand spokesperson says Eisen's history of things like racism, misogyny, and harassment prove he's not fit for office. The American Red Cross has unveiled another incentive aimed at getting people to roll up their sleeves and donate blood. Anyone who donates through December 17th will get a $10 Amazon gift card sent to their email. They'll also be entered in a drawing for a prize package that includes a $1,000 Amazon gift card and a 65-inch Amazon Fire TV. To find a donation clinic in your area, head to redcrossblood.org. And 2 multi-time Grammy Award winners are headed to Syracuse on a tour in 2024. They'll make a stop at the JMA Wireless Dome. Pink will be joined by Sheryl Crow for the concert on Sunday, October 6th. Pink is known for big hits like So What and Don't Let Me Get Me, while Crow is responsible for songs like All I Want to Do and If It Makes You Happy. Seats go on sale this upcoming Monday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster.
You know, I think the C is crooked.
Yeah, and somebody's saying the T, too. I mean, maybe it looks crooked because the C is crooked, but hopefully they'll get to the bottom of it, literally.
Donna, thank you for the photo. But the problem with a C is it's very difficult to find out, you know, where do you tilt
that center
it?
mark
Where is that center mark?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I think that people are right. It makes the eye look crooked. Maybe the eye is crooked. Oh, my God, the more I look at it.
It's awful. It's terrible.
You know what? This is when I frame stuff in my house.
Oh, yeah.
I always put every frame on a diagonal because then it's like I meant it to be crooked.
Yes.
Then you never have to worry.
It's artistic.
Let's look at this forecast. Another chilly day with, you know, the dusting of snow on the ground this morning.
It's according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair.
Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint in the WIBX Weather Center. Today, cloudy and chilly, a couple snow flurries and snow showers, but again, any accumulation under an inch. Drier by afternoon, a high of 33. Tonight, mostly cloudy, light snow showers late, a low near 20. And tomorrow, another round of light snow and snow showers, a coating to an inch before tapering late. Cloudy, turning milder late, a high of 35. For more on your local forecast, tune to Eyewitness News at 6 on WUTR. I'm meteorologist Craig Flint on WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM.
Right now, we're at 28 degrees with snow flurries here in Marcy. It's 8:07. From the IBEW 43 local sports desk, Syracuse basketball has won 3 of its last 4 after topping Cornell 81-70. The 6-3 Orange will visit Georgetown Saturday morning. That game tips off at 11:30. The Jets are making another move at quarterback after the disaster that has been this week. On Tuesday, Gang Green waived Tim Boyle and signed Brett Rippon from the Seattle Seahawks practice squad. Boyle completed only 41 of 63 passes for 327 yards, 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions, and 2 starts for the Green and White. Rippon, who played under offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett while in Denver last season, is 2-2 as a starter. Head coach Robert Saleh has yet to name his starter for Sunday's game against the Houston Texans. Zach Wilson and Trevor Siemian are the only other quarterbacks on the active roster. New York is 3rd in the AFC East at 4-8. And, of course, there was that question of whether or not Zach Wilson even wanted to get the start after a debacle of a season, to say the least. The Giants are sticking with Tommy DeVito, a.k.a. Tommy Cutlets, as their starting quarterback. Head coach Brian Daboll confirmed Tuesday DeVito will start Monday night's matchup against the Green Bay Packers at MetLife. Veteran signal caller Tyrod Taylor is likely ready to return from a rib cage injury, but DeVito, winning 2 of his past 3 starts, has earned the job from the G-Men. Tommy Cutlets has thrown 6 touchdown passes and only 1 interception in 3 starts. New York's currently 3rd in the NFC East at 4-8. And finally, the New York Yankees are making a deal with the enemy, the Red Sox. According to ESPN, the Bronx Bombers are acquiring outfielder Alex Verdugo from the Bo Sox in exchange for a package of prospects. This marks just the 7th trade between the rivals in the last 50 years. The Red Sox are receiving right-handers Richard Fitz, Greg Weissert, and Nicholas Judas in the deal. That's just what we need to give up pitching. Verdugo spent the last 4 seasons in Boston after being acquired from the Dodgers as the main piece of the Mookie Betts trade. Despite making the deal for the outfielder, the Yankees are still involved in trade talks with the San Diego Padres for star outfielder Juan Soto. WIBX 950 News Time, 8:09.
David, do you have an opinion on that that deal?
On what deal?
The this
the
Red Sox Yankees thing.
I don't know.
He's
with
exhausted
this team.
with it. He's exhausted.
I'm just like Andrew. Brian Cashman's a moron.
Okay.
And needs to go away.
Maybe they should hire you.
I volunteered to be the New York Jets quarterback if they need.
But you're going to be busy. You're going to be a lot. You're going to be very busy.
I know.
Yeah.
I was telling him I'd love that job.
The official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. They serve Seattle's best coffee. And let me just tell you a little bit about that. Do you know who owns Seattle's best coffee? Andrew.
It is Daylight Donuts.
Yeah. But who owns the coffee brand Seattle's best?
I think it's, I don't know. Is it Starbucks?
It's Starbucks.
Oh. Well, they are a Seattle-based company.
So, in fact, the history behind this is they were 2 competing companies. And Starbucks in Seattle is getting its butt kicked by Seattle's best. So, Starbucks came in and bought Seattle's best.
I mean, that's pretty typical of corporate America nowadays.
It is.
You know, you
That's
got
right.
something
Yeah.
that's posing even just a little bit of a threat, and you buy it up.
You buy it up.
You can't beat them, join them.
You can't beat them. Make sure they join you.
Yeah, right.
So that coffee is really, really good, and I might say superior. Check it out, and it'll come in a. You should understand this. It comes with a drive-through that you're in and out and you're on your way. That's the big difference. Right now, take advantage of Daylight Donuts. Fresh donuts every day. Those donuts are made on site, fresh every day. They're not frozen donuts. These are freshly made. And the best lattes, hot or iced, every day. Caramel mochas, pistachio, pumpkin. There's the Almond Joy latte. The chocolate peppermint candy cane, the gingerbread cookie, and the s'more latte, all for the holidays. Christmas gift cards, $20, or holiday gift cards, $20. You get $5 free. And sign up for those mouth-watering, delicious snowflake rolls at Daylight Donuts. We use them for our holiday dinner on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve as well. It's Daylight Donuts. You have to sign up, though, to have them ready for you. Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Coming up, Mike Nolan is a longtime assistant DA in Oneida County. Recently has been the county clerk for Judge Dwyer, who will be retiring next year. And Mike Nolan will be running for that position. We'll speak with him coming up. 8:12, the WIBX.
We all like convenience, right? ATMs, takeout food, drive-through pharmacies. Now, Bremer's is making it just as convenient to enjoy your favorite wines and spirits with Bremer's to go. It's simple. Place your order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 on your first order with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. Hey, you can even call us when you get to the store and we'll bring your order right out and load it in the car for you. Now that's convenience. Maybe you're planning a party. Maybe you want to stock up on your favorite wines. Or you just want to save time when you're out and about. Whatever the reason, at Bremer's, we're all about incredible customer service. So when you're on the go, we are too. Order at bremerswineandliquor.com or save $5 with our mobile app. Order before 5 p.m. for pickup the same day. It's Bremer's to go, available 7 days a week from Bremer's Wine and Liquor on Commercial Drive in New Hartford.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
Are you thinking about a new job? Warner Sales and Service is looking for a mechanic, someone with mechanical abilities interested in working on small engines, new equipment setup, and some basic diesel and hydraulic repairs. You'd be working on the complete line of Bobcat construction equipment and Hustler turf equipment. 1 to 2 years experience or training in engine mechanics is required. Applicants need to have strong diagnostic abilities. Qualified candidates should also be able to follow troubleshooting procedure and service manual instructions. Does this sound like you? Visit the Warner offices for an application. They're just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona. Online at warnerss.com. That's warnerss.com.
Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
Oriskany Garage, a locally owned auto repair shop, is consistently selected best auto repair shop in the Utica area year after year. Google search Oriskany Garage to see what our customers are saying. Come and see us for friendly professional service. For all of your auto repair needs, brakes, tires, funny noises, warning lights, come experience friendly professional service at Oriskany Garage down the street from Utica University or online at ogtire.com. Come on and say it with me and make the noise. ogtire.com.
When you don't have enough to eat, all you think about is food. That makes it hard to give your best.
Nearly impossible to feel your best.
And it makes tough decisions even tougher.
At Food Bank of Central New York, all we think about is food too, and how to get it to the people who need it most. Think you can help? Give today at foodbankcny.org.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap but easy to give. Give them a Stihl. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Stihl Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $30 on the GTA 26 battery-powered garden pruner. Visit your local Stihl dealer or go to StihlUSA.com/gift guide. Real Stihl. Find yours. Now $149.99 was $179.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, get ready for this week's half-off Thursday deal with seizethedeal.com. Score your half-off gift certificate to Pins in New Hartford this Thursday morning. Tomorrow morning starting at 8 a.m. Get $50 off for, let's start that over. Get $50 for $25 with Seize the Deal's half-off Thursday. Pins is a great time anytime for bowling, axe throwing, arcade games, food, drinks, and fun. Plan a night out now at their location at Sangertown Square in New Hartford. Get daily specials, book a party, and more at pinsbowl.com. Get your half-off Thursday gift certificates from Pins in New Hartford. They sell out fast at seizethedeal.com. I had a wonderful idea for a fundraiser for Toys for Tots.
Okay, let's
You're going to
hear
love it. And actually, this is Mike who gave me the idea this morning. What if, and this is inspired by George Santos. Bear with me. So what if Stefan got a Cameo account and half the money went to Toys for Tots, the other half went to his, whatever his Christmas fund might be.
Stefan's Christmas fund?
Well, maybe he just does it all for charity.
Yeah. I think he would do it.
Maybe he gets a small cut, and
Is
then
there
the
some
rest
sort of
goes
requirement
to
to be on Cameo, or you can just put yourself up there and say?
What do you mean
if you're up
requirement?
there, I guess if you're up there,
George Santos is on Cameo. Is there a requirement?
I know, but
no.
But for better or for worse, he's a little bit more recognizable. I mean, Stefan's pretty popular, but
all I'm saying is, I think it would be a great way to raise money for
let's try it.
Toys for Tots.
And even if Cameo doesn't let him on, we'll find a way to get video messages to you from Stefan.
Cameo would let him on. So I'm just saying it might be an idea to, he's always wanting to do things for the community. He always wants to be involved. This might be a great opportunity for him. In studio right now is Mike Nolan. Mike, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
You probably think this is a terrible idea, but
I know. What's your legal perspective on that?
Listen, for a good cause, it could be really cool.
Hey, if we're raising money for Toys for Tots, I guess we can do what we
got
to do, right?
You do what you have to do. So 16 years in the DA's office.
Correct.
And then the last few years, you've been court clerk for Judge Dwyer.
Since September of 22. So a little over a year.
Okay.
A little over a year.
And yesterday you made an announcement that you're running for county judge.
Correct.
So Judge Dwyer is stepping down next year.
He's turning 70, which is a mandatory retirement age for judges next year. So
I didn't know that was the case. In
the
New
state
York.
for county court, Supreme Court judges. So he can finish his year, but then there would have to be an election for that seat that would open in January of 25.
Okay, all right. And so why should people, I know you had a big crowd of Cavallos yesterday.
Yes, we did.
Why should people look to you for this position?
Well, I think, one, as you know, this is a very important position in county court.
Yeah.
The judge ensures that people's rights are secure, that justice is served, and that each and every person that comes before them, even though they're charged with a crime, need to be treated fairly and with dignity. So for the last 16 years, I was at the district attorney's office. I handled murder cases, economic crime cases. And I know when people think of prosecutors, everybody thinks, oh, we're going to put people in jail. But for 16 years, that's what I did. I made sure that each person that I prosecuted was treated fairly, was treated with dignity. Now, did I put people in state prison? Absolutely. Did they deserve it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also had cases where if there wasn't enough evidence, that I didn't follow through with them. So as judge, I would have that.
If I can stop you there, that is a very difficult, sometimes difficult for the public for us to understand. Like we can see he's guilty. For God's sakes, what are you guys doing? But the reality is, everybody has a constitutional right. You have rights, and if the evidence is not there, you got to be able to prove your case.
Correct, and it is difficult at times, especially with victims, families of victims, and telling them, look, we know that this person did something to you or your family, but we just can't prove it. And it's not ethical for us to follow through. So that is often a hard conversation to have, but having had those conversations, having worked with Judge Dwyer for the last 15 months and into the next year, it just has made me uniquely qualified to handle this job come January of 25.
Some of the cases that come before this court are big cases.
Yeah.
Correct.
Many of these cases. I mean, I'm sure you have the cases that we don't pay attention to, but there are some big ones.
And there are. And thankfully, when my time at the DA's office, my boss, Scott McNamara, the DA, the current DA, allowed me to handle some of those most serious cases. I handled numerous murder cases. I didn't really like economic crime, but there was a couple economic crime cases that I handled that dealt with things like people stealing over $500,000, people stealing from the New York State Pension Fund, things like that. So, yeah, this court does see quite a bit of high-profile cases, but even the cases that the public doesn't hear about, right before I left the DA's office, I was the bureau chief of the Gun-Involved Violence Elimination Unit and Community Outreach. I handled hundreds of gun possession cases, and even though those don't make the news, those are very important, especially to the people in the community that this is affecting. And so, yes, those are those cases that are out there in the news, but there are a lot of cases that a lot of ADAs handle in that office that are important to the victims.
Yeah.
Background, where you're from. Tell us a little of your story.
I grew up in North Utica. My father was a Utica police officer, ultimately became a narcotics investigator. My mother was a registered nurse, worked at the same doctor's office for 39 years before she retired. I went to Proctor High School, graduate of Proctor, went on to Syracuse University, then to Albany Law, where I met my wife. She graciously moved back here with me so I could pursue my career as a prosecutor, and spent 16 years there. And I have two awesome kids, Jacob and Alexa. My daughter's 13 and my son's 11.
And working with Judge Dwyer, do you and people, I think we don't understand the importance of a clerk in a court for a judge. It's a big role. But what have you learned during that time?
I've learned a lot of different things. I've learned a lot about the law. When you're a prosecutor, sometimes you don't have a ton of time on your hands to, go and research things that may just interest you as opposed to researching the things that you're trying to resolve. So I've had a lot of time to look into more things that pique my interest. I've learned one of the things is how to be a judge, watching him do the things he does. And I think, like you said, the public doesn't realize what goes into having a trial. All the things that happen before, during, all the things the judge has to read, how he deals with 70 different potential jurors when they come in the room that might get picked as a jury. So I've learned a lot how to manage that courtroom, which again I think is a unique experience for someone that's going to be running for this position.
Yeah, and as being intimately familiar with the role of law clerk, being my stepfather, it is an important role where you get a lot of experience and knowledge, and the research big. The research is big, and being a judge and knowing the law and the precedent, I think, is an important thing. So,
I agree, and I think being a law clerk, you also learn about. I've had the opportunity to learn about cases that I didn't necessarily handle a ton of. For instance, I definitely didn't handle a lot of special victim unit cases when I was at DA's office. Well, we don't have that option. The judge gets a case assigned to him. That's what you have to deal with. So I've learned a lot about other types of cases that I didn't have the opportunity to handle at the DA's office.
Between your time at the DA's office, speaking, by the way, with Mike Nolan, he is Judge Dwyer's law clerk and is running for that judicial position, Oneida County judge, next year in 2024. Between your time at the DA's office and serving with Judge Dwyer, we've had a rough, I'd say maybe 10 years. There have been some high-profile, very, very difficult cases that have come through the DA's office and into our court system. Would you agree? And do you think it's abnormal? Like, we've had some really difficult cases.
I don't think it's abnormal. I think it's probably
sadly there's bad in the world. There's mental illness in the world. A lot of it seems to go back to mental illness.
There is a problem with that, and I think the problem with the mental illness is what do we do with these individuals? And there isn't a lot of options, much as opposed to someone who may have a drug addiction. There are a lot of options, so that does contribute to quite a bit. I don't necessarily think it's odd or an anomaly. I think in 16 years, I did see you would see waves of really bad things, and then it would be calm. I mean, if you go back to 2007 and like the 3 years following that, we had 3 officers shot in line of duty. I mean, that hasn't happened in a ton of time. So I think, I don't know if it's something you could put on a graph and kind of say, okay, it seems every 5 years we have this peak and horrible things happening. It's just a matter of, I think, the way the world works, and sometimes you have some very horrible things. But again, I also think that the general public only sees a minuscule things of the horrible things that happen out there. Luckily.
And because there's a lot of things you can't unsee.
No, No, and I've had that experience with murder cases and assault cases and things you can't unhear when victims tell you things. So, but that's what I guess I enjoyed about my job, and I think I can continue to do that as judge, is helping victims of crime at least have some solace in that something was done to help protect them and people in the future.
And then I'd ask you, if elected and you become judge and you serve a long term as Oneida County judge, and you retire, and what do you want people to say about you when it's all said and done? I realize it's difficult to think about that, but you kind of have to think about that before, I think.
No, I agree. And I what I would want people to say about me ultimately is over is the same thing I would say about Judge Dwyer, is that no matter who you were, where you came from, what you were charged with, it could be the most horrible crime, that you were going to be treated fairly and with dignity. And hopefully, if I do get elected, and after a long career, that attorneys and people say, I was in front of Mike Nolan as a defendant or as an attorney, and he treated me and my client no different than anybody else. And they got a fair shake. And that would be my goal as judge.
We have a listener comment and question. Steve messaging in, Mike was a great ADA. He would be a perfect judge, very even-handed. And this is from Greeley. Would you be taking over, if elected, Judge Dwyer's role in approving pistol permits?
That would be a decision not made by me.
Okay.
That would be made by...
that doesn't come with a position.
No. Those assignments are doled out through the court system. There's obviously another county court judge, Rob Bauer, who would be senior to me. I'm sure they would talk to him about things like that. I would be happy. I've been assisting the judge with those pistol permits and the things that go along with that, so I do have a 15 months of experience dealing with them. I would be happy to take them over, but it wouldn't be a decision that I would be making on my own.
That's a difficult job, and especially in today's climate.
It is.
Taking someone's your Second Amendment rights means so much to so many people. And it's easy for us to say, well, we need to get the guns out of the hands of the mentally insane. The people who are having problems, take their guns away. It's not as simple as that.
No, and I think the judge and myself take our duties seriously. Obviously, he has the power to approve or disapprove a pistol permit application. He has the power to suspend that. I assist him in reviewing those files, but one thing I will say is it's something we take just as seriously as if someone that comes before the court. Because, again, this is a right that an individual has, and it isn't something a decision that should be made on a whim.
Yeah.
We go above and beyond to make sure when we're dealing with that, again, we treat it fairly and do the appropriate thing to keep the community safe, but also to protect the rights of people that want to own guns.
Fair enough. We appreciate it. Mike Nolan, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And listen, it's December, a long way to November.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it'll go by fast from what everybody tells me.
Yeah, and the good news is you're in a, unlike running for mayor or running for county executive or what have you, you're running for a judicial position. There are protections, expectations that you don't get into the weeds and the dirty stuff, and that is helpful.
That is helpful, and,
Yeah.
and no, I don't think anybody wants to get into that anyway. But it is helpful, and I think again my experience speaks for itself.
All right, thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate
you so
it.
much for having me.
You can read some stuff about Mike up on our website later on this morning at WIBX950.com. It's 8:30. Coming up, speaking of legal, Andrew Reed is our legal expert. 3 stories that are in the news, and he'll break down each of them. Coming up at WIBX.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Thousands of stores across the country are pulling brand name cold and allergy products off the shelves. Why? Because an FDA advisory panel recently determined that a drug they contain, oral phenylephrine, is ineffective as a nasal decongestant. Navage offers a drug-free solution that's fast and highly effective at relieving nasal congestion caused by colds and allergies. Navage uses suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out of the other nostril to help suck out allergens, mucus, and germs. Nasal irrigation works, and Navage makes it quick and easy, but more than anything, it helps you breathe better. Don't waste your time or money on products that are ineffective. Trust drug-free Navage for fast relief to help you breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier. Ask for Navage at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, or find us online at Navage.com. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida Counties is your community foundation. Together, we've invested $125 million in the community, thanks to people, families, and businesses that want to give back and build a brighter future. And you don't have to have big bucks to make a big difference. Join us as we invest in the future of our community. Learn more about your community foundation at foundationhoc.org.
Need new tires for winter? Then visit Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair today. Now through December 14th, save up to $70 instantly when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone, Blizzak, or Firestone Winter Force tires. Save up to $100 instantly when you use your CFNA credit card. Tolman's Tire and Auto Repair located in South Utica, Yorkville, Rome, Herkimer, and downtown Utica. And online at tolmanstire.com. Offer valid November 15th to December 14th, 2023. Cannot be combined with other offers. See store for details, subject to credit approval.
WIBX 950 and 1069 FM. This is Keeler.
Some breaking news here this morning. This is breaking news that I can't even find. You ever hit something on your iPhone, you go to read it, and then you hit something else by mistake?
Yeah.
And it's an alert, and then you can't find it. You
can't
don't know where it went.
Sometimes it goes to the news app, but then you can't even find it in there.
I cannot find it. Anyway, unless I dreamed it, Norman Lear has passed away at the age of 101.
Oh, my gosh.
Screenwriter, producer. He has created over 100 TV shows and sitcoms. Of course, responsible for Maude, All in the Family, Sanford and Son, Good Times, The Jeffersons, One Day at a Time, and the list goes on and on and on. He has passed away at the age of 101. Each week we do a legal segment. Andrew Reed takes a look at some of the legal stories making headlines this week. There are a couple of 3 very interesting stories out there. And Andrew Reed on the line now. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be back.
All right, let's go with number 1. Harvard to undergo civil rights investigation for campus anti-Semitism. I know they were sitting before Congress yesterday.
Yes, and so really where this complaint that triggered this investigation really surrounds all the protests that came about because of the October 7th attacks over in Israel, that there were issues with how the responses were handled. And so that was what apparently was highlighted here and what really is triggering this investigation. But overall, there's going to be a lot of aspects of how this is looked at. Mainly, how was the response handled? Were any individuals of specific nationality or heritage, were they specifically left off of responses, or were they not followed through with as quickly as other individuals? Things of that nature are all going to be investigated as part of this.
So this is going to be, I would think this is going to be a tough one to prove. And it's a very complicated issue, right? Because you have the issue of free speech. For instance, in America, the KKK can exist. Yet, at the same time, there are hate crimes. So the difference between inciting violence or hate crimes versus just hate alone, it's a very complicated issue, legally.
It's very complicated, and it's one... This will be a very difficult situation to go through in this investigation. But on the flip side of it, in some respects, this is personal thoughts here, specifically is that in some respects, Harvard probably is actually may actually welcome this a little bit, because if this investigation clears them, that can help with some of the issues that's been reported of their donors backing on withdrawing donor funds to their endowment and to the school for various scholarships because of these issues. So if this is investigated and they are cleared of everything, that could potentially help them regain some of that back.
Okay, interesting case, something you want to watch. Number 2, this is another one. The Washington Commanders are being sued, but you might be surprised over what they're being sued over.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This one is one with some interesting twists. So there's an organization that has claimed to be backed by Native American tribes. And I say it that way because there are, in some of the reports that were out about this story, there's questions raised about who is actually backing and supporting this organization. And the other twist here is that same organization has also included a claim of defamation against the current Washington Commanders organization, because they believe someone there has made statements saying that they were a false organization and they weren't a real organization. So that's just another interesting twist here. But ultimately what they are trying to do is get the Washington Commanders to return to the name Washington Redskins. They're saying that removing that name and title was disrespectful to Native Americans, and that they should return to that. And there's a lot of questions there, because when that name change occurred, there was a lot of support on both sides of the issue.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Native Americans and Native American tribes that were in support of the use of the Redskin name, while there were some on the other side of it that said, no, we believe that's disrespectful to our heritage. So that, along with the image, the logo that they had used being based upon a real person, at least from some reports, and that family having some of those same thoughts of whether it was respectful or disrespectful, that's something that there's just a lot of noise with this case.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? It's just like America, though, isn't it? Where just on an issue where you think everybody's on one side, the side that you've placed them in your mind, and then you turn out to find, you end up finding out that there's a divide there among Native Americans.
Definitely. And as something, looking at this case, I can see this one being very difficult for the legal team that's going to be on the case for the Washington Commanders, because while they may want to push forward with certain arguments and methods of resolving this case quicker, if they do that, they might actually stir up more issues.
Yeah,
so they're going to be walking a very fine line in how they handle this to make sure they follow through on the case, but also don't cause further harm to the reputation of the Washington Commanders.
This is case number 2 that you have this week that is not just about legal, but it's about public relations as well, and money.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then finally, topic number 3, I don't know about this one. I unless what they're telling us that what they're producing can't be recycled, it's hard to blame the manufacturer for irresponsible people who are not recycling cans and bottles. But Coke and Pepsi getting sued, and the claim is that they're lying about the ability to recycle their products, especially the plastics.
Yeah, and so the first case that really triggered this was from a couple of years ago, and from what I can find, that case really hasn't gone very far. So, excuse me.
It's that time of year.
But it's one. They have this situation where they have the plastics, and there's questions about, how recyclable is that plastic? So there's questions of, can some of this plastic actually be recycled, or is it a single-use, one-and-done, can't go through a process that can actually recycle it? It has to be disposed of as part of trash or compost. And so that's one question, and the question there is, does it actually break down?
Right.
And then the flip side of that is, can they actually use more recycled plastic as part of their process? And so that was where the original kind of thought behind this went, and the potential damages to the wildlife if it all of this plastic is just put out into trash and not actually disposed of through recycling or other processes that actually can break it down.
Yeah, yeah.
Now there's a case in New York filed by the Attorney General that is bringing in some of these same organizations along whether it's affecting drinking water in New York.
So I wonder on this, they have created a recycled plastic bottle that does actually break down. That it will. The problem with this is, though, are we going to find out years later that, it does break down and the liquid inside of it breaks it down and you're consuming that, it causes cancer? This is not an easy fix, it seems. But when you look to the oceans, there are places around the world where it's just collecting millions and millions of these soda bottles, plastic bottles that are just littering the ocean. It's really terrible to look at.
Exactly. So it's a balancing act like anything. It's one, yes, there probably needs to have something done here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is this a step too far?
Yeah. All right, interesting stuff. Andrew Reed, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much. And
Absolutely. Glad to be on.
We'll do it again. Thank you. Andrew Reed, legal analyst with Fox News Radio. A couple quickies. Denny Lane, a member of the Moody Blues, later a member of Paul McCartney's post-Beatles band, Wings, died yesterday. He was 79 years old.
We've already said since you gotta go.
Pretty good stuff, right? Dead at the age of 79. We mentioned Norman Lear. Breaking news this morning. He has died at the age of 101. There you go. Can I keep going? We'll break at the 55 or no? What?
No,
what do you have?
can. Yeah, if we do.
All right.
Quick break.
We'll do that. Let me take Ryan Nobles right now because he's here, and we don't want to make him wait. Now that he's gotten. I
know.
Big at NBC. Ooh, boy, he just doesn't want to wait. Ryan Nobles with NBC. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Listen.
I just was so taken by your obituaries that I was thrown off.
Listen, it's that
it's
point.
Our duty, Ryan.
Apparently, it's that point in my life where I go first with the obituaries and then everything else. So,
Bill, can you hang on one second?
I can.
Esther, make sure you go to school, okay? You got 15 minutes. Sorry about that. Just
we're getting a peek behind the father curtain there. Yeah,
a little dad work, a little dad maintenance there.
Love
good,
it.
Good stuff. Okay, Ryan. Listen, I think I'm going to take a break, and then you can handle your handling, and Andrew will be happy with a 2-minute break. All right. So
let's do that. That's fine with me.
Stand by. We're coming right back to Ryan Nobles. This is the second day in a row where we've had a dad moment. Interrupt an interview.
Live on the air, you're right.
And listen, as a parent, I certainly understand it. 8:45 at WIBX.
As a leader in green building projects, Potentia has completed hundreds of large sustainable commercial projects across New York State and is now a clean heat approved contractor for residential electric heat pumps. Save up to 40% off your natural gas or oil heating system monthly bill by upgrading to an electric heat pump. Now's a great time to replace that old furnace and boiler with New York State incentives and tax advantages. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 with a turnkey electric heat pump with various packages and options available. Potentia can also help design, supply, and install residential and commercial electric vehicle charging systems at your home or business. From permitting and design through the complete installation, they guarantee your satisfaction with all their products and workmanship. Visit Potentia at 4685 Middle Settlement Road, New Hartford. Give them a call at 315-765-6184 or potentiamanagement.com. That's potentiamanagement.com.
Go green, they say. But how? Start with your biggest investment, your home. Invest in the future with a new water furnace geothermal heating and cooling system by City Suburban. We at City Suburban have converted hundreds of customers to green energy to heat and cool their home. And we can do the same for you. Now is the best time with the New York State Clean Heat Energy Program, where you can save up to $12,000 while funds are available on your water furnace geothermal system, plus a 30% federal tax credit. They say go green. We say go Geo.
Hi, this is Chris from City Suburban. There's never been a better time than ever to go green. With the New York State Clean Heat Energy rebates and federal tax credit, you can save thousands on the installation, plus save for years to come on energy costs. And like always, every installation comes with City Suburban's POMG. That's peace of mind guaranteed. Call us today at 853-3899. That's 853-3899. Or visit us at citysuburban.com for more information.
Why get an updated COVID vaccine? If you're 65 or older, a COVID vaccine can keep you out of the hospital. And if you have heart disease, a COVID vaccine can help you stay healthy. With COPD or other lung diseases, getting a COVID vaccine can keep you off a ventilator. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But some people are more at risk. Know your risk and make sure you're up to date on your COVID vaccine. A message from the New York State Health Department.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
848 at WIBX on the line right now with NBC is Ryan Nobles. Ryan, good morning.
Hey, Bill, good morning. Take two. Let's do it.
Take two. Got you back. All right, I want to start with a voice you've heard a lot of. Here he is on Cameo. Here we go. Is it going to play? Oh, I have to unmute.
So, here's to a season filled with more joy and fewer fact checks. May your festivities be as genuine as my campaign promises. Cheers to a fantastic New Year's. And on the campaign...
Wow. He'll read anything on Cameo. We're talking about George Santos. I mean, this person has clearly written something that makes fun of him, and he's reading it. Wow.
And did you see Senator John Fetterman bought a cameo for George Santos to send to Robert Menendez, which was just fantastic. It is absolutely what you would have predicted the turn in his career would be. And Semaphore has a story this morning that he has already made more on Cameo in the first 48 hours that he's been on Cameo than would be what he would make for the entire year as a member of Congress. So until he goes to prison, this may end up working out for George Santos.
So yesterday it was $20 for a message. Today you can still get a message for $20, but I don't think that's a pre-recorded message. A personalized video is now $400 from George Santos.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And I think it started at like 75, so the price has just gone up like crazy.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, well, even that one sounds like the one that Fetterman may have written for him, because it's clearly doing some ripping there. Wow. Well, listen, you covered this. Have we ever seen anything quite like it? And we've seen a lot of crazy stuff, but this is an odd case.
No, listen, Bill, this was a completely unique congressional story in an era of a lot of unique congressional stories. We've seen a lot of liars. We've seen a lot of corrupt members of Congress. We've seen a lot of people do a lot of questionable things. But kind of the breadth and the scope of what George Santos was capable of, and then I think combined with his willingness to just lean into the scandal and make himself available and create all these dramatic moments, was like something I've never experienced covering Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
And when he left the building on Friday afternoon, you could just sense this palpable sense of relief from both Republicans and Democrats. They were sick of talking about him. They were sick of this being an issue, and they were just ready to move on. And that was clear by the vote totals on Friday.
So what was, every time we see you with him, it's usually on Nightly News, and he's usually saying something like, get out of my way, or, did you ever have any bit of a normal, profound conversation with him?
No, not really. He. There were a couple of instances where I had stopped him outside of his office and had like a genuine interview with him. But I never. There were some reporters on Capitol Hill that had an off-the-record relationship with him, where he actually talked to them like human beings and had somewhat of a normal relationship. I never looked to cultivate that. I never really felt there was any true value in that. I felt it made more sense to keep him at a distance because of who he was.
Yeah.
He never really there are a lot of members of Congress that you can have a conversation with in a quiet setting and get to know them more as a human being. And he never really was interested in that. He was way more interested. There were many times that we would say to his office, listen, everybody wants to talk to him today. Just have him come out of his office and talk to us for 15 minutes, and then we'll leave him alone. We won't chase him around for the rest of the day. And he just wouldn't do that. He leaned into us chasing him around all day. He loved that part of the theater. He used to come dressed in full makeup, which is not something for me to criticize because generally I'm in full makeup too. But it's just an indication of the theater of it all, the spectacle of it all was a big part of what kind of drove him. And I also think one of the reasons that a lot of his fellow members wanted to see him take the exit door.
I want to ask you your take. I mean, we've watched over the last 20 years, politics and how things have changed. We seem to be at a very, very interesting point. But I want to just bring you something that's local. Remington Arms spending 216 plus years in Ilion, New York. And over those years, we've always had a situation where it had a large workforce. Well, that had dwindled down to about 200 people working at Remington. And last week they announced, apparently we're hearing there was an argument between two of the owners, and they decided that they were moving out of Ilion. They're ceasing all operations in Ilion, New York. But, I think back to 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when we had federal representatives that would go to bat and would bring home military contracts. And at this time in the world right now, there are plenty of those military contracts out there. But it does seem we're in a world where the only thing that matters is national bickering back and forth about maybe the upcoming 2024 presidential race. So you have Elise Stefanik, you have Schumer, obviously on two different sides, and for their own reasons would not want to help out Remington. For Schumer, he doesn't want to be tagged with pro-gun, and for Stefanik, she wants the governor, the former governor, and Democrats to be tagged with destroying this company. Are we an unrepresented region right now? Because it sure does feel like it.
Bill, you and I talked about this when we saw Congressman Boehlert pass away a couple of months ago, and we talked about the kind of impact that he had and the pride that he took in representing a small town and a place with a huge bit of pride and cultural identity.
Yeah.
And he carried that with him every time he went to Washington. And, my entire time in Utica and beyond, there was always a congressional seat that was based in Oneida County. So the representative represented a lot of the neighboring counties, but the central feel of it, the kind of the base of operation was in Oneida County. And when we lost that, or when you lost that, that automatically just took away, it made it kind of a side project as opposed to a main focus.
Yeah.
And that coupled with the culture of members of Congress right now, which you're alluding to, is that bringing home the bacon used to be a badge of honor, used to be a point of pride. That's how members of Congress got elected year after year. That's no longer the case. Bringing home the bacon is thought to be a negative thing now.
Yeah.
And that's because we have, moved our politics so far to the right and so far to the left that finding that common ground, and there was not too long ago a period of time where Chuck Schumer would have teamed up with a Republican Sherry Bowler to make sure that Remington Arms was taken care of in a federal budget. I mean, I don't think it was I'm not going to remember this well enough, but wasn't there a federal contract with the Oneida Silver Company where members of Congress worked together to get that?
That was Claudia Tenney, and And while Claudia Tenney was here, President Trump was in office. We were still in a position where nothing was being done for Remington. And I almost feel it was appealing for this type of politics to see it in trouble because you could blame Andrew Cuomo for that and the SAFE Act. So,
right, it's all just about the political talking points. It's not necessarily about how you can deliver for people and impact people's lives on a day-to-day basis. Yeah,
boy, that's pretty sad and pretty scary.
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with the way that people consume media now. It's chopped up into tiny little bits that you watch in 30 to 40 second increments and on a variety of different platforms. You never get the full context and the full story. So it's a lot easier for politicians to just, play to the lowest common denominator and gin up support that way. And I don't really know what solves that problem.
I know.
Because we're in kind of a difficult era when it comes to that. And I see it every day with the members that I cover. There's no doubt about that.
30 seconds, Brandon Williams, and the video, the yelling at the aide. Your take on that? I'm assuming you've seen it.
I have seen it, yes. And I can't say as though I'm that well versed in it. I know that there was, the congressman will tell you that he was standing up for his family, and he was concerned about the threats that these former members of his office had delivered toward them. It's not something that's resonating in any kind of fulsome way in Washington. I will say that. I do believe it's probably a big story in Central New York. But sometimes these local scandals make their way to Washington. This isn't something that everybody's like chattering about.
Yeah,
in the halls of Congress.
And I got to tell you, it's not really that big here either, to be honest with you. So interesting. We'll talk more about it next week. Ryan, have a great week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Right,
take it easy.
Thanks. Ryan Nobles with NBC. Portions of the program brought to you by Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating and Cooling and Insulation. Great incentives out there, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars that could help you make your home energy efficient. National Grid customers right now can get $500 per outdoor condenser unit on Collis heat pump installations. Call them today, 315-768-2323. Fred F. Collis & Sons Heating, Cooling, and Insulation.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX 950 Utica Rome, W295DI Utica Rome, your news, talk, and sports leader, a Town Square media station.
All right, there is one thing, Andrew, before we leave here, and I guess you'll hear about it at the top of the hour. Norman Lear, breaking news, has passed away at the age of 101. That, of course, will be coming up. We're back tomorrow. Enjoy your day. It is 9 o'clock.
A TV legend has died. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Someone who wasn't on screen. Norman Lear was a writer and producer who created legendary sitcoms like Sanford and Son, The Jeffersons, and All in the Family.
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Norman Lear won numerous Emmys and other awards. He died at the age of 101. Time magazine has just named its Person of the Year.
It's me. Hi.
Yes, Taylor Swift, it is you. After quite a year featuring a big tour, a box office topping concert film, and a much-talked-about relationship with football star Travis Kelce. 4 Republicans running for president will debate tonight, but once again, former President Trump will be a no-show after a town hall on Fox last night in Iowa before the first contest there next month.
From the enthusiasm in the polls, we're going to win by a lot more than we won even the last 2 times.
And what he said to Sean Hannity is under a lot of scrutiny. When asked if he would abuse power or seek retribution against his critics, the former president said no.
Except for day 1. Meaning? I want to close the border, and I want to drill. That's not retribution.
Now, President Biden at a fundraiser in Boston told Democratic donors if former President Trump wasn't running, he might not have run for re-election, as he keeps warning another Trump term is a danger to democracy. Israel keeps bombarding southern Gaza, going after Hamas leaders, displacing more Palestinians. Many already had fled their homes in the north.
James Elder from UNICEF believes so-called safe zones aren't worth the name.
These are tiny patches of barren land, or they're street corners. There's sidewalks. There is no water, no facilities, no shelter.
Israel insists it's doing all it can to limit humanitarian suffering.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. 6 people are dead in Texas after police say a man now in custody went on a shooting spree, first in San Antonio, then in Austin, where 2 officers were also wounded. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Scott, the owner of Solid Fire Pits. When I began welding my custom-made fire pits for friends and family, I shared them on TikTok because I was just so proud of them. Check it out. That's beautiful. I posted every new fire pit design, and more people kept ordering, from 26 states and counting. Then on my birthday, I had my best sales ever. Now how can the universe beat that?
Solid Fire Pits is just one of the 5 million U.S. businesses that rely on TikTok every day. TikTok sparks business.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Good morning, WIBX 950 News Time, 9:03. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now, looking at around 28 degrees with a few light flurries. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by Cliff's Local Market. They keep you going. Utica police announced a standoff Tuesday that lasted 5 hours. Police say an individual barricaded themselves inside a residence on the 500 block of Cottage Place. The standoff began around 5:15 p.m. and wasn't resolved until around 10:15. Police say the individual was sent to Wynn Hospital for a mental health evaluation and will likely face felony charges. We'll have more details once they're released. Some brand new data shows the flu is now widespread in the Empire State. According to the State Department of Health, cases have risen by over 25% in the last week, and hospitalizations have surged by 30%. The biggest hotspots in the central New York region are Onondaga, Cayuga, Oneida, and Oswego counties. Folks who have not received a flu shot yet are urged to get one soon. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand is going to face a challenge for her seat on Capitol Hill next year. Westchester County entrepreneur and Republican Josh Eisen has now launched his U.S. Senate campaign. The 51-year-old Eisen has called Gillibrand a do-nothing senator and claimed that she and her fellow Democrats have failed to deal with important issues. A Gillibrand spokesperson says Eisen's history of things like racism, misogyny, and harassment prove he's not fit for office. And the American Red Cross has unveiled another incentive aimed at getting people to roll up their sleeves and donate blood. Anyone who donates through December 17th will get a $10 Amazon gift card sent to their email. They'll also be entered in a drawing for a prize package that includes a $1,000 Amazon gift card and a 65-inch Amazon Fire TV. To find a donation clinic in your area, head to redcrossblood.org. WIBX 950 News Time, 9:05. Your weather forecast is according to Eyewitness News Chief Meteorologist Craig Flint, brought to you by Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair. We're looking at a slight chance of snow showers this morning, otherwise cloudy, highs in the low to mid-30s. Cloudy with a low of 20.